wait the customary 5 minutes. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, hello. Dude, I've been waiting for that's finally time. New intervallo. Oh, that should have fixed it. Oops. I had the gain turned down on accident. Either that or it was the cat. One or the other. Not great. I'm very excited for this, though. First of all, most importantly, we're gonna get lore, because I see Arya down there, Arayashiki, Sinclair, a focus on the sign, Gregor with a focus on the cockroaches, so the Roach Emperor, and a hand-drawn thing of a certain Sinclair, so we are getting lore this intervallo, and I am all for it. And I have... Nope, we still have 30 seconds. Seems to also be doing some catch-up on the House of Spiders, because according to Smug, this is like an epilogue for Canto 9. I've mostly just given up on being able to interact with people in a good way. Nothing really happened. I just started spiraling, and it went from there. It was a very minor thing that started it, and I'm not saying what started it because blame games are bad. Oh, we've reached 5 minutes. I can go in. Blame game's bad. And I've been just kind of spiraling for a couple weeks. I can't work up the... not really courage. What's the right term? Battery? Thought? To just type anything? Do I want to make a cool team for this one? I'm kind of tempted to make a cool team for this Intervallo. This is the Ring Intervallo from what I saw of the trailer. Do I have a team set up I can use? That's absolutely not Tremor. I barely have anything in Tremor. I guess I could... no, I will not be able to maintain a stack. Sinking is technically an option. Fuck it, why not? I'll just use my sinking team. I don't think I'll be able to keep it up most of the time because of how a lot of stuff works, but move and reg, what do you give me again? No, what's your passive? No, that's burn. Okay, yeah, Yasenada. Arcorp Reindeer, can I upgrade you? I can get you to up to 4. Thank God. I am fixing your terrible original stats. Good. Okay, good. Before this uptie, whenever the passive triggered, it was guaranteed just fuck you, lose 15 SP. It was never worth it, like at all. But with this, it actually can be worth it. Just every single time you have more than 3 Gloom skills going off at the same time, fuck you, you lose your progress. And it was so annoying. Snag Harpoon for clashing, honestly. Roja... God, the Sword Sharpened with Tears Roja is honestly just like one of the strongest IDs in the entire game. I don't need damage. Healing would be pretty good. I'm not certain how much healing I'll get with this, but I'll put it in. Edgar Family works pretty well, and then just grab both of your egos. I have no idea, but it was a mistake to design it like that. But it's time. Intervallo 9-5. Or 9-1, whatever you want to call it. Twinning Threads. We're headed back to the House of Spiders. Oh, they even have a cool little animation. Oh, no. Oh, I know what this is, don't I? Oh, hello, child. It's nice to have you here. I know what this is. Ryoshu's entire motif is the red thread. The red thread of fate, the spider's thread. Oh, there's another thread there. There's a darkened thread as well. But that red thread is Ryoshu's. And Arya took over Shiomiyoru. And this is her color scheme. That's her color scheme right there. But what's this last one down here? That's a new color. So it looks like Ryoshu going into Arya, and then slowly Ryoshu and that new thread surface and trade off with Arya until eventually both of the new threads disappear and only Ryoshu is left. That is very ominous. Maybe Rien? I'm not certain if Rien would fit, though. What are these called? Severed threads. That's exactly what the first knot that hurt the most. The constant slashing that Ryoshu did, and how Arya talked about every slash With every slash, Arya's existence grew thinner and more spread out. And yeah, red thread, Arya's cut thread, and then a weirdly regular thread in there. Severed, you can obtain severed thread, which are these, and severed and scorched skine, which is that. What are the rewards? Furry Merceau, a couple event things. It's the usual. Furry Merceau is the only new person here. Event bonus units. Ring Favists. Ring. I could theoretically put together... No, I only have one ring ID. I do not have enough shards for that. Let's go in. Oh. Oh, that's an ominous start. 9-5.1. Funeral. LCE Morgue. A funeral was held for Martin and the LCE researchers today. I thought I'd seen more than my fair share of deaths throughout my journey with the sinners. But never before had I witnessed this many people gather in one place to mourn the deceased together. Death was always just passed over. This is the first time it's been treated with reverence and respect. The unfamiliarity made me feel a bit out of place, honestly. Am I doing this right? Most of the sinners seem to be feeling that similar sense of being out of their element as well. Some of them were asking Merceau, apparently the most knowledgeable of them, all when it came to funeral process and etiquette. Oh, that's ominous. Mersault is knowledgeable about funeral processes and etiquette. I'm not certain if you're that familiar with the stranger, but... Well, no, I'm not certain. Oh, no, it is. He is the one who went to the funeral. So, the stranger is all about how Mersault is, number one, he doesn't really know how to process emotions most of the time, and how other people perceive his inability to process them. I'm pretty sure it begins with him, part of it is most of the people in the city and town start getting disgusted with him when, number one, he sends his maman to I think a nursing home or something like that, and she dies there, and we're in Mersault's head, so we see how much he's, like, anguished about it, but he can't really show it. But for everyone else, the son of a dead woman at her funeral is having no reactions. And the rest of the book is unprocessing that and showing off how other people think of him after that. Eventually it comes to a head where when the sun gets in his eyes and he shoots and kills an Arab, he's taken the trial. And for some reason, even though the trial is about the Arab man's death to Mersault, and like Arabs are just like a normal thing there. Like a lot of people are Arab in the book. The region that of I think France that they're in has home to a lot of Arabs. All everyone else can focus on is Mersault's inability to show the emotion there at his maman's funeral, even though it has nothing to do with the case. So that makes the fact he knows about funeral process and etiquette interesting. That could tie into his maman in this story, because it's been mentioned a couple times in Mersault's Uptie story about his mother, and just one of the most obvious ones is in Bloodfiend Mersault or Cassetti Mersault, where he's extremely like. In his internal monologue, he's extremely loving of his maman and grieving of her. But he will not let himself show it because he is the prince. He must become the king now. He cannot let it show. But yeah, It looks like they're already starting giving us hints from Marcel's Kanto. Yeah, all manner of questions and pointers. Expressing respect is the primary purpose. Hand placement and gesture are unimportant if that objective can be accomplished. Hey, where'd I put this? Beneath the third pillar to the right. Can't any of you quit chattering for 1 second? Have you all forgotten the instruction to carry yourselves with solemn propriety that befits the occasion? Cut me some slack! I haven't been to funerals all that much. I mean, I did tell you to read the manual. I even underlined all the important parts for you. Oh, Ooh, Ishmael is growing a bit. She's learning that the rest of the sinners aren't really... Well, number one, they don't care enough to read the manuals, like, ever. What is this, like, the 5th time she's tried to get them to read a manual? But she's trying more. She's underlining the important parts for them. Sorry, Ishi. The wall text was just too much for me. My focus started fizzling out from page 30 onward. Yes, same girl. How did every sinner here attended a funeral before? Back when we set foot in that grim manor in T-Corp. Otis? I'm not certain that counts as a funeral. Also, I thought you didn't remember. Because wasn't Coffee removed from everyone except Heathcliff and Dante's memory? What exactly do y'all remember about Wuthering Heights? Because we know you don't remember Coffee. Like, no one does. Also, yeah, no, that manor does not count. Back before we set foot in the grim manor in T-Corp. Ah! Thou speakest of the funeral held in young Heathcliff's manor! Does that not? The one bereft of the dead! Ooh. Young Heathcliff's manor. Okay, so I guess it is. The ownership has been passed to him in their memory. And they remember a funeral for someone who wasn't there? Bereft of the dead? I mean, someone had to have died, because there wouldn't have been a property dispute big enough to involve the Elfie Association's notarization otherwise. Said this time and time again, there's just an intentional anonymity to prevent family strife. So that's what they remember that as. A property dispute. Oh god, Heathcliff, I feel sorry for you, bud. Intentional anonymity, is it? The situation was indeed as thou sayest. There was no helping it, forsooth. Yet it is a pity that the dead wasn't named at their own funeral. Yeah, fuck. Poor Heathcliff. God, boy. Oh no, give him hugs. Heathcliff deserves hugs. The name of the name of the deceased was... It was Catherine's funeral. She was very dear to Heathcliff. I have thoroughly reviewed the past 5 years' worth of local newspapers pertaining to the matter, yet no such name relevant to the case was identified. Manager. Oh, Mersault. Oh, Mersault, you're not helping. Well, it's fine, Clockhead. At least you remember. That's good enough, innit? It had to be the Golden Bow's influence. Somewhere along the way, everyone's memories of the event at Wuthering Heights had become warped. The sinners seemed to think that the Golden Bow had always been there in that manner, and that Nellie was coaxed into stealing it by Herman. Linton, in their minds, was now a grieving brother who had been conducting research for his dead sister's sake. Nobody questioned it. Not Don Quixote, not Faust. Every single sinner believed the twisted version of the memory as if it was a proven fact. Oh. Oh, holy shit. Okay, the Golden Bow's resonance is much more terrifying now. Because it seems it's self-correcting as well. Heathcliff can't even tell them the true story. They won't believe it. More evidence will turn up that will show their version of events as correct. That's absolutely horrifying. Heathcliff and I gave up trying to correct them. Instead, we just check in on each other's memories every now and then. Because if there's something that he and I realized, It was that anything tied to Catherine had already been painted over. Every detail gilded and glossed over with the glow of the bow. Yeah, every single thing you could try to use to make them realize that, like, no, she did exist, has been self-corrected. It's a complete erasure from history. Everything that you may have done attributed to someone else. The point is, how should I put this? Circumstances of the funeral didn't exactly leave us much room to properly express our condolences back then. Between Heathcliff running on a rampage and that Hindley guy bent on interfering with the execution of the will, I assumed that sort of incident was pretty common stuff for funerals, but apparently not? Huh. Sometimes I forget that Dante doesn't know jack shit and is just learning as they go along. But the fact that Dante thought funerals were always like that... but... You truly are a they who would say shuckaroonies unironically. Yeah, Dante's experiences are not normal, but they think they are, because this is what they're used to. No. Well, I think it's actually rare to see a place that follows proper funeral procedures. I've traveled around quite a bit myself, and I can't quite confidently say I've ever been to a legitimate funeral. The one at Wuthering Heights was one of the more proper funerals, if only for pretending to have a process. They at least prepared a coffin and even had a formal reading of the will. It is the city after all. Death is cheap. Why linger? It seems funerals are far from being an everyday custom in the city. Funerals are considered a rather extravagant practice here as well. Corporations are not eager to grant time off just because an irrelevant someone has died, and the price of real estate seldom makes it viable to buy land and erect memorial houses on it. Then, what other options do people usually have? Well, I mean, I guess you could just put the body in the back streets and wait for the sweepers to clean it up, but that'd be its own band of traumatizing. We used to just leave them where they died, and after one night's sleep, their bodies were gone, just like that. Yeah, the sweepers. Better than paying loads of money to bury him somewhere just to have that stir up a load of daft rumors, eh? Rumors? Wait, what? Hello, Ohm! Welcome to a funeral. It has been very sad. Yeah, I was gonna do Final Fantasy, and then I realized that the Intervalo was out, and I was too excited to not do it. What do you mean that burying someone properly leaves rumors? Rumors about there being valuables buried with the bodies, or an arm being some fatty prosthetis. All that rot. Oh, another reason proper funerals can't exist in the city. Grave digging. It seems cremation might be the only way a dead body could actually be properly put to rest. Better to let the dead go in peace than bury them in a grave just for some sods later desecrate it. Yeah. No. Yeah. And hung you on. People tend to set up graves that have enough room to spare. Of course, there wasn't a guarantee they wouldn't lose the burial room by the next restructuring day. God, that's fucked up. Okay. Wow, I didn't realize how fucked up Hong Yuan would be. The more we learn, the worse it gets. God, just imagine, like, burying, like your partner or your loved one in, like, a plot of land that you've earned via your wealth. And then one day, just because you lost a bit of wealth and had a bad day, the grave's gone. It's someone else's now. That's horrifying. Hodenheim scoffed and hung his head. Oh, to say foolishness, all of it. Comforting the soul of the departed, another mendacity. All those funds so carelessly squandered, all for the purpose of furnishing a living with a fragile excuse to clean on. Yeah. The funerals aren't for the dead. They're for those that remain. Are those words from his heart, or just something said to convince himself? Because, as we know from regular checkup, Honenheim is not okay. Whichever was the truth, I couldn't see the look on his face with his head tucked so low. The funeral didn't last long, though. It was just a brief moment of silence, followed by a few quick goodbyes that were shorter still. The ceremony came to a close once Alyssa, who was still in recovery, came to pay her final respects. The flames devoured the coffins of Martin and the other researchers, announcing the end of their existence with the crackle of firewood. Yeah, cremation. No one in the city is okay. I guess you'll be leaving now? Oh. Huh. We're staying until Gregor's stable enough to travel, honestly. Dante says we'll remain here till Gregor's condition settles. Gregor came to his senses again a few days after his unforeseen metamorphosis in his battle against the Thumb Nurse Father. He was given a checkup, and Hohenheim said there's no cause for concern, but... physically, that is. The psychological assessment turned up disastrous, to say the least. Yeah, no, yeah. That would be absolutely horrifying for Gregor, considering all his trauma. Gregor was considered unfit for combat deployment for the time being. So, you won't be leaving just yet. Good to know. Then I assume you'll be okay with us borrowing Sinclair for a while? Oh, this is Are we gonna study the sign? Are we gonna study the sign? Huh? Me? Yes, you. The LCE wants to look into the sign you manifested, Sinclair. Ooh, give us lore. The higher-ups didn't waste a second greenlighting the project, which means what I'm telling you is more of notice of investigation than a request for permission. Yep, that is LCE Ardor Blossom Ego Gear. If there's one thing I will thank L Corp for, all Ego Gear is unisexual. Everyone gets kick-ass suits. There is no exception. Everyone is wearing an awesome-looking suit, and I love it. What investigation? What are you? It's just a rather rudimentary instance of human experimentation. Calm yourself. A rudimentary instance of human experimentation. God, the city continues to be itself. The human experimentation? Did you really have to put it like that, boss? Not to worry, Sinclair. A swipe or two on your skin and maybe some talk therapy. That's all there is to it. Of course, if we had your consent, the avenues of research could be vastly... No, I'm not giving you my consent! For your reference, the other departments have also submitted some quite enthusiastic requests for research and observation purposes. Oh, you have no idea. We had to get Boz to fend off the LCA Mirror World Observation Department in their hissy fits. They want to be the first ones to get their hands on you and spearhead their research, you see. Yep, Intel Department seems. They would be very interested in Sinclair, wouldn't they be? Because Sinclair is a different avenue of Mirror World. His manifestation of the sign. Because all the Mirror World things we've seen so far, other than, well, Walpurgisnacht, have been sideways Mirror Worlds. You look to the side of where you could have been at this point if you took a different path. But Sinclair's manifestation was the future coming back. One possible end point, not another step on the journey. And had we allowed them, they'd have kept you for a good few months before letting you go. So the least you could do to thank us is be a good boy and cooperate. Just in time. Our researchers are here. Alyssa waved to at the researchers who were filing out of the funeral after paying their respects. It wasn't long before Sinclair found himself surrounded on all sides. Wait! I'm perfectly capable of walking on my own, so just don't run any painful tests on me! Of course, of course. Stay strong, Sinclair. All I could do was offer an unspoken encouragement to Sinclair, who sounded ready to collapse into full-blown panic any minute. Oh, what about you? You're not going with him? Oh, it's back to the long-term recovery ward for me. Yeah, you almost used the suicide attack last canto. And the only reason you lived is because the ring nurse father beat you out of it. I always thought scientific research was the one thing that flamed my passion, but those recent events haven't introduced me to the merits of paid sick leave. I realize that time off beats research projects in my books. Marginally. Enjoyed while it lasts. I highly suspect that every request for PTO submitted by a department will be rejected for the rest of the year. Yeah, the city actually wouldn't be a lost belt from Project Moon point of view, would it? Because they are making progress. Well, the city after the Tree of Light experiment. Before, I could see arguments for it being a lost belt. After, there's a chance. Well, it's true your average corporation doesn't give more than a week off a year. I'm not even surprised. As soon as Alyssa trudged off with her dragging steps, the researchers seized Sinclair and carried him away. Hello, Coase! Sinclair has been kidnapped because the researchers are extremely excited to figure out what the sign is. Alright, we should get going too. The funeral's over after all. Do you all have somewhere else to be? Well, I thought I'd go visit Gregor. I'm worried about him. Oh, I got something I said I'd help with. Gotta be there for it. I'm going with Sinclair to get some rest. Also keep an eye on the researchers and stop them if they try anything fishy with the experiments. Yes, fishy. Let me know later if you need anything, Dante. The Sinners fanned out in different directions. They seem to have their own errands to run during our stay at LCE. I think this is like the first time, other than Canto 9, where like we haven't had all the Sinners with us in story. Generally, they're just around and with us. Yeah, apparently my voice is good. I don't really see it, but neat. Everyone's busy with their own thing. Ryoshu! Oh, her sword. Yeah. Her sprite got a permanent update with the end of Canto 9. Number 1. Her blade is now white, in Arya's colors. Number 2. She now has the keyword on her LCB identity of the Tiansha Star. She's a member of the Pinky now, officially. The only ones keeping me company now were Ryoshu, who'd been filling the air around thick with cigarette smoke, and Don Quixote, who was sniffing and asking around every corner for Vespa, in a valiant quest for the new color fixer's whereabouts. Of fucking course she would. She wants an autograph. Go get your autograph, girl. I believe in you. Faust was still here too, staring blankly into the air. Faust, please stop doom scrolling on Discord. We know you're kind of addicted to it, but you really gotta stop doom scrolling. It ain't helpful for you. Is she accessing the Gesellschaft? You seem to have time to spare, manager. As I stood there, wondering what I should do next to pass the time, Hodenheim, who had apparently finished tackling and signing the stack of papers, walked over to me. This makes things rather convenient. There's something I intend to discuss with you and Sinner Ryoshu, a matter that requires your assistance. Huh? What kind of assistance? WKOA, says Clock, says CH. Translated from Ryoshu speak. What kind of assistance, says Clockhead. Wait a minute, did Ryoshu just step in as my interpreter? Also, I did not notice that either. That's entirely new. She's never done that before. That's very sweet. Thank you, Ryoshu. It's not that I don't appreciate her gesture, especially since they usually just snap at me and tell me to find someone else to interpret whenever the issue came up. This is the first time I think she's done it, like, ever. In story and out. But I can't help but doubt whether her choice method of interpretation actually accomplishes anything. There is, I must admit, a certain novelty in witnessing the reconstitution of that which requires interpretation to yet another linguistic form equally demanding of it. Yeah, Ryoshu's translation is translating. You're gonna need a Ryoshu interpreter. It's like you get an English to Spanish interpreter, and they translate it into like Italian. They're like, wait, I hired you for English to Spanish. What are you doing? You just have to get another step there. Yeah, we need Sinclair to telephone it. It would seem we are in need of more manpower. Scratching his head, Hohenheim looked around for a moment before coming to a sudden pause as though an idea had crossed his mind. At the end of his gaze was a certain someone who was busy badgering LCCA employees with her relentless questioning. Who else, pray, might know of it? Give me a second. Who else, pray, might know where he is if thou knowest not? Now listen closely. The one I seek is a bow of hair fashioned in the likeness of a bull. Oh my god, she noticed he has a bowl cut. You there. Why don't you join us too? Dost thou speak of me? Yes, you're in Japan with a Japanese to Spanish dictionary. Unfortunately, you've never heard Spanish before. The LCCA personnel, who were cornered by Don Quixote in a rather forceful interrogation regarding Vespa's whereabouts, took the opportunity and fled the scene without so much as a backward glance the moment their captor turned her head to answer Hohenheim. Yes. Look on her and behold, for this is a second kindred blood fiend, cornering research agents because she's fangirling out. Yeah, Hohenheim is just a good boss. He's extremely traumatized, but he's generally actually a good boss. He comes across as an asshole, but you can very much see why trauma is making him do that. Indeed, there's a task that requires your assistance. But I have yet more words to trade with the most noble yellow harpoon. You seek to emulate the virtue of chivalry. Does that entail turning down the earnest plea of those in need? Holy shit, bro. I did not know you could social like this. He actually knows how to social. Good job. For the sake of clarity and distinction, it'd be prudent to assign you to a different identifier from that of my assistant. You are to be number 2, that is, assistant no 2. Yeah, he stun-locked her! He's just like, oh, you're a knight? Then help me. Aren't you a knight? I have not yet concluded mine exchange with the yellow harpoon, but no true knight would abandon those who call for aid. Pray, speak thy quest. How may I be of service to thee? Delegating the interpretation of the manager's speech to center number 4 is proven to be counterproductive. As such, your task will be to report to me what the manager says. Oh-ho! That's indeed a simple task! Oh my god, it actually fucking worked. Hohenheim, you genius! However, this WKOA eludeth mine understanding as well. Prithee, allow me little time to uncover its mystery. Hello, Infinite Nuts! Hohenheim is a social genius. It has successfully stun-locked the Don Quixote. Relay the manager's words, not Senator Ryoshu's. Faust? Are you okay, girl? They are asking you what kind of assistance you need. The request for interpretation was not directed at you, but as I cannot deny that your meddling in the present circumstance is a welcome one. Yeah, because if I remember correctly, the last time Hohenheim spoke with Faust was during the Walpurgisnacht. And he was concerned about her. Because he did one of their classic like barbs at her, and she didn't react. Which made him go, huh? It was simply that the irrationality and deficiency of your suboptimal staffing choice and workflow have become sufficiently unbearable. Faust hopes this was not some guileful scheme devised to elicit Faust's cooperation. Yes, they are vitriolic best buds who are soon to rave about being best buds. Well, Hohenheim kinda knows it. Faust is not okay from the little peek we saw of Gesellschaft. After all, for those unaware, Faust's official title in the Gesellschaft is now Stupid Faust. The other Fausts are assholes. In any case, manager, this request of mine concerns an investigation into the back doors located in the House of Spiders. I deemed that the two of you should be the ones most familiar with the structure and layout of the house. After all, you are the one monitoring the entirety of the five-pronged assault operation. Incident number 4's familiarity does not bear repeating. Do we go to the House of Spiders right away, or... Oh, Ryoshu's enjoying this now. H-O-S-R-A. You have assisted enough, you know. Faust is trying to be a good girl. The difference between our Faust and all of the other Fausts, from what we know, is that our Faust is one who believes in uncertainty. She believes in leaving variables up to chance and letting people be themselves. It's currently theorized that the reason that our Faust is having success with growing the golden bows and turning them into a tree, a sapling of light, is because she is letting Dante think through for themselves. And that's why she's going through. Because it's been shown that as long as Dante is the one in charge and the one making choices and actions, things are generally going well. You've assisted enough. Yeah, there are a few other rogue Fausts, like Tianshu. I think it is Tianshu. Tianshu Star. The Tianshu Star, otherwise known as Mao Faust. Perhaps you could, help, Faust. Sure. Although, not word for word, Faust relayed my intention to Hohenheim, who responded by shaking his head. Not immediately, no. There is one more member you should bring along, Gregor. One more member? Seeing me tilting my head, Hohenheim pushed it up his glasses. Ooh, good. Okay, Dante can do body language. Oh, thank you for the follow, Infininuts. I'm glad to have you here. Yeah, it seems like Dante can do the body language, which we haven't seen so far, but it's nice to confirm. See me tilt my head, Honan pushed up his glasses. The apprentice who was captured alive in this House of Spiders. Kira! Oh my god, we're gonna get to talk to Kira already? Kira. She has regained consciousness. Oh my god, she's back up! I can't believe it! The only child who lived! 2 of the children were erased from existence, and 2 of them were just straight up killed. She's the only one left. Survivor. 9.5-2. The child is alive! LCE Recovery Ward. Are we gonna get to see Gregor? I kind of want to check on Gregor, my guys. The place Hohenheim led us to looked less like a recovery ward and more like an interrogation chamber. It's the city. It can be both. Yeah, she got cut in half by... All of Ryoshu's adoptive parents were terrible in their own ways. It's kind of horrifying how the man who was literally a slave to the Index is the one I can point to as being the best influence on her. That's kind of horrifying, honestly, now that I think about it. God, Rien. The bar was low. How the fuck did you clear it? Though every single medical equipment installed around seemed to be state-of-the-art. Yeah, Index Man wanted to be better. He just, number one, did not believe he had free will. And number two, could not let himself hope. At the end, in the boss fight, the entire boss fight against him was against the will of the prescript. They wanted him to stand down and let her go. He didn't. He wanted his daughter to remain. This place looks pretty well equipped, honestly. Probably a direct order from upper management. Although technologies to restore lost body parts are common enough in the city, a facility of this kind is required to preserve the original form of her lower body in the reconstruction process while keeping the cost reasonable. Reasonable? Huh. Do I want to ask how expensive the other options are, if this counts as reasonable? A windowless room thick with a sharp scent of medicine and chemicals. Kira was sitting on the bed at the center of the room, kicking her feet as she regarded us. Oh, it's there. The scar's right there. You can see where Matthias cut her in half. And with flex tape, we put this we put this middle apprentice back together. It is interesting how she managed to have a chain of loyalty, even though she wasn't in the middle. But all the rest of her tattoos aren't actually middle styled, so. Kirsten is in her room, kicking her feet as she regarded us. For someone recovering from bisection, she didn't look much different from how she'd appeared when I seen her through the Sinner's shared vision. Yeah, he cut her in half with Leviathan, the blade of Surtur, so of course it was instantly cauterized. She was captured alive for the extraction of information, yes? How far along is the progress of the extraction? It hasn't yet begun, actually. We are waiting until the lines of information that warrant questioning can be isolated. So far, all available personnel have been fully engaged in analyzing the documents and items discovered in the House of Spiders.
Huh? What you even doing here?
Ooh. Something this game does a lot is that the nameplate and the character text color are both very important. Nameplate background is where you originate from. Character text is generally part of that as well. But that's the regular middle text, but that background is different.
What you even doing here?
Ooh, she has the same background as the LCE. Ooh. There is work to be done contingent upon information obtainable only from recent habit of the House of Spiders. And following discussion with the upper management, I have decided to put you to use as the company had originally intended.
No TV, no comic books, just a super prickly glare and a cold soldier whenever I ask for something to pass the time. And now you suddenly need my help, huh? Give me one reason I should cooperate.
Nine didn't so much as twitch an eyebrow at Kira's biting tone. He merely gave her a nod with a steely, imperturbable expression. I didn't ask for your help. Put you to use, I believe, is what I just said.
What?
Your survival is not incidental. It is the result of a calculation. The company anticipates a potential profit by keeping you alive. Expected gain, as the term goes. Without such a forecast on the company's part, you would have already been disposed of. The upper management consists of people who would be disinclined to tolerate the daily maintenance and depreciation costs of this room, even at half their current numbers. Which brings us to our next point. Should you insist on maintaining this uncooperative attitude, the company may decide to convey a meeting to reassess your worth, or shall we say, lack thereof, in its projected income statement. Well, suffice to say that such a reassessment would skew heavily against your favor. The outcome would be recommendation for immediate disposal. Hohenheim always had a way with words that could prickle and sting. But with Kira, it almost felt as if he traded the usual thorn off for a sharper knife, intent on twisting it right where it hurt.
I'm dead meat as soon as my usefulness runs out anyway. It's not like you're gonna let me live, not after I killed a bazillion of your guys.
So you anticipated some form of corporate level retaliatory response against your person. Doesn't need a curious line of reasoning. Then I must tell you that, unlike your typical backstreet syndicate, which touches the middle, corporate entities of the city tend to avoid choices that incur losses. Yeah, no, see? Faust and all of the sinners have a unique background, and with a regular white character text. This is how Limbus shows like where a person is from and like what part they're originated. What not city, culture, whoever they're working for generally. This is how Limbus shows. Like back, if you want a reference for how, like another time this happened, after Ishmael like mentally destroyed Ahab lost her background color. She lost the Pequod town background color that all of the other members of the Pequod had after Ishmael mentally destroyed her. And until Herman... And she kept it lost until Herman managed to bring her back. It is also an indication of mental state as well, which is generally interesting. The value of information that can be extracted from Apprentice of the Middle and the combat prowess honed into tutelage of Great Brother of the Middle. These two considerations are likely to increase their value in the eyes of the company.
Y'all got zero self-respect, huh?
You should consider yourself fortunate.
Huh? The heck are you on about?
Other companies would not solicit your cooperation by means of a verbal exchange. Your interrogator would simply open your cranium, harvest your brain, and extract any and all necessary information without going through the intermediary steps such as this. Even without resorting to such methods, the range of available means to compel the discourse of information is practically limitless. Truth serums, hypnotic suggestions, electrical shocks and simulations, and of course, procedures that utilize distortions and abnormalities. That being said, the LCE department prefers to distance itself from such uncivilized approaches that may entail complication and after effects. I do hope that we share a similar predilection.
You're so freaking annoying, you know that, mister?
The feeling is entirely mutual. Leaving the biting chill of his threats to sink in, Hohenheim turned towards the exit. Give her some push and bring her along. I don't quite seem to be myself today. No, disregard that. That too was a rather foolish thing to say. Yeah. Usually torture is terrible for information extraction. Unfortunately, the city has ways to change that. I will defer this matter to you, manager. Work of this sort likely falls more within your capabilities than my own.
Yeah, temperance. Also, it seems Hohenheim is kind of holding a grudge for the fact that Martin had to sacrifice himself. This was his trauma too, Electric Boogaloo. So I'm not really surprised. And with that, Hohenheim stepped out of the room, leaving me to deal with Kira. His reaction was understandable. The LC had only just finished laying its dead researchers to rest. Kira was probably the last person anyone would want to face right now, much less speak to. What should I even say to persuade her?
Oh, wait! Oh, I didn't even think of the fact that technically Ryoshi was her older sister. I didn't even think of that.
I was still caught in thought when someone, quite unexpectedly, made her way to Kira. Yoshihide?
You. Heard you got stabbed in the back by Matthias.
That's not true. Papa wasn't landing a fatal blow unless he cut through me too. That's why he did exactly that. To aim for the enemy's head. Besides, he made the right choice. A little sacrifice ain't a thing in the family. Family. Coming from him, a metal mutt thrown out of his kennel. Doesn't that sound ridiculous even to you? That's... Thrown out? That fucker Matthias was a great brother only by technicality. He fucked up badly. He was still family by name, but underneath it, everyone hoped he'd disappear quietly on his own. He was that family member nobody wanted around. Ah! The uncle you wish wouldn't attend the party. Same treat for me, Venus Brat. Not surprising it's the ST for the bowl cut, too. Same thing. Yep. We know from Middle Apprentice Ishmael's uptie story that the other members of the Middle want absolutely nothing to do with Kira. Like, technically, she helps out with a vengeance, but in the Middle uptie story, when Ishmael helps out some other members of the Middle with some vengeance, they accept the help, but the instant the vengeance is completed, they leave. They don't talk to her, they don't acknowledge her, they leave. Same taste! Oh, young Yoshu, be that thou also have a affectionate zeal for fic. I quickly clapped a hand over Don Quixote's mouth as she smoothly chimed into the conversation. Not helping, girl! So what exactly is your point? The point is you're taking too long. If you can't decide whether you want to live or die, I can shorten the hesitation. C-U-R-L-S-Y-N-C right this instant. Choose quickly or I'll snap your neck completely right this instant. What does that mean? Cooperate quickly or... Oh, she translated herself! Cooperate quickly or I'll snap your neck completely right this instant. SYNC isn't such a bad way to go out if you're keen on taking that loyalty straight to the grave. This is so crappy. Whatever, I get it, okay? I'll talk if that's what you want so bad. That actually worked? Huh. I don't normally say this, but, good job, Ryoshu. Shut up, Clockhead. Fixers who go out in blaze of glory aren't actually the strong ones. Excuse you, the red mist! Honestly, I don't think anyone knows about that. It's probably not public knowledge, considering everything about L Corp. But, just... The red mist. The red mist. There's nothing else they need to say. And yes, and also shots fired at Cyberpunk. If there's one thing I love about Middle Ishmael, is that she gave us the canonical knowledge of that in-city power scaling of, like, who's the strongest is dead. It's completely stopped. It's the red mist. You know it's the red mist. There's no other answer that's true, and everyone knows it. Trying to power scale is just the red mist wins in the city. They've stopped trying. They can debate anyone else, but the red mist shuts down discussions. Yes, the red mist is an outlier and should not be counted. Fixers who go out in the blaze of glory aren't actually the strong ones. It's the ones who survive. The ones who live to see another day and keep getting stronger. Wait a second. That's Gebra's mindset. No. That's what Gebra told, what's her name again? The rabbit. What's her name? Mio! That's what Gebra told Mio. That is it's not the strongest who survive, it's the survivors who are strong. That's Gebra's mindset. As long as you can keep living, you can keep getting stronger. Anyways, Yoshihide, what's up with you talking in weird-ass abbreviations? Like, SYNC? That's so random. Who even says that? Ryoshu didn't bother to reply and simply chewed on the mouth end of her cigarette. But is this really the right call? To her, we're probably the people she needs to settle the score with. As if.
Yes, Automod caught the Kos again. That is 2 catches today. The Ori and the Kos. Half her tattoos are gone, Clock. They even confiscated her book. You think the middle sorry excuse for loyalty means so much for this stray that she'd bite us? Oh. Oh, Did they remove some of the tattoos on her character sprite? Because if they didn't, I didn't notice that. And yeah, she doesn't have her Book of Vengeance. That's like the entire middle's thing. Besides... No, better hear it from her instead. Hey, tell me why Matthias kicked the bucket.
That's cause... Well, cause Papa was weaker than y'all. Huh?
Yeah, you're the jerk's brat, alright. Kira pushed herself up from the bed with a sour face, but at least she didn't argue back. And we called Hohenheim, who'd been waiting outside, back in. Yeah, that's Matthias's mentality after all. If you die, you're weak. So follow those who live. I assume the prisoner was successfully persuaded. Come, you'll find your weapon on the table. You may use it in the event of an emergency.
What the hell? I didn't even unsheath it!
Oh, they locked her weapon? Yeah, I wonder what they did with Leviathan. You won't be able to use it without authorization. The code has been slightly adjusted.
Huh?
Now then, let's head to the House of Spiders at once. The back door is up and waiting for us. Don't worry, Kira. Ryoshu can give you advice. After all, she's the one who cut Honglu in half with her sheath. Ryoshu can absolutely give Kira advice on this. Just sharpen the sheath, forehead. We made our way to the House of Spiders, with Kira trailing behind us, looking like she was smelling something particularly fishy on us. Ooh, combat. Wait, that's a weird looking signature there. That is a... Wait a second. Is that a thread? I think that's a thread. Like a knot of wool or thread. I don't exactly know what it means, but we all know what thread signifies. Wait a second. Oh, wait a second. Oh, there's new stuff I can look around. So that's the funeral. That's the thing. That's Mephi. That's Mephistopheles. Why is Mephistopheles already here? Mephistopheles, along with some, looks like spider's threads, or no, those are slashes. And it looks like that's Arya's thread around Ryoshu. Yeah, no, that's Arya's thread. It's entwined all around the House of Spiders. This is the ring. Which place was this? Which place was direct? I'm gonna check. Which place was directly above the ring? Canto 9. Which place is directly above the ring? Where is it? So we go back over here. Which place was directly above the rings area? Okay, up here. No. Go to part 3. Here's the ring. Directly above the ring. This was the... Directly above the ring was the thumb area. This was the thumb. The thumb area is gone now? Or something else has taken its place, more like. No, that might be where Ryoshu did her thing. No, no, I think this is where... I think they just changed up where they are and how it looks. Because the architectural style of this area was the pinky area, where Shiomiyoru and Arya were, where we fought her. Yeah, we still haven't seen the black thread, though. Oh, also, for those unfamiliar, something I noticed here, the red thread has always represented Ryoshu. This white bluish thread represents Arya, because she took on the Pinky Nurse Father role. But there's a third strand of thread going into it, along with Ryoshu and Arya. A blackened, fiery thread. And then as it goes, they entwine further and further and further until only Ryoshu is left. And then she slides into darkness. It could be Shiomiyoru. I don't know, though. Okay, we're blunt. Blunt, use, gloom, or that. Okay, everyone but Gregor. Oh, I forgot. I don't have a full team for this. God damn it. Do I have...
부르신다면 언제든.
Do I have any other, syncing IDs? You know... Lobotomy Ego Love and Hate is technically a syncing ID. For those who don't know. For those who didn't know, if you look at her negative coin skills, they're syncing. You almost never get to see them, but they're technically still syncing. Okay, so we want you, and Wild Hunt. I should probably uptype. I don't have enough shards to uptime him. Yeah, Gregor's still fucking dead. Rip.
죽음 충동 억제.
Let's see what combo we'll have to do. Yeah. This is where the Ring Nurse Father's gallery was. Looks like they're already cleaning up all of his artwork. Only a few days had passed since our last visit, but the place looked markedly different from how we remembered. The sight of the hollow, frigid atmosphere and the endless stretch of corridors hadn't changed. But Callisto's so-called artworks were now covered in white sheets, and unfamiliar devices were now affixed all around the back doors. Yeah.
Ah, Billy, who might those people that be?
What the fuck?
Oh, that's Wayfarer Corp. That's Wayfarer Corp. We've gotten hints of them before. Wayfarer Corp is who Limbus Company's partnered with, and currently think they're aiming to take W Corp's spot. No, Wayfarer Corp, not W Corp. Wayfarer and W Corp are different things. They're trying to take W Corp's spot once they fall, because everyone knows W Corp is falling. Yeah, the lesser W Corp. Looks like some shitty bastards moved in already.
Our guarded reactions prompted Hohenheim to step forward and gesture to one of the oddly dressed figures. They're the ones who are using the back door as their tech.
It seems introductions are in order for both sides.
This is team leader Alan from Wayfarer Company. Yep, Wayfarer Company. Who will be working with us on the investigation of the house's back doors. Wayfarer Company? Why is old W Corp exploding? Well, there's an entire there's at least 2 abnormalities about that. Express train to hell and wayward passenger. But warp trains are fucked. Warp trains are absolutely fucked, and with the advent of the light and distortions being a thing, because of light and distortions, people can distort in the like 10,000 year emotion jail, because as a fundamental law in Project Moon, emotions drive time. Time does not drive emotions. Well, at least that's how T-Corp's tech works. T-Corp's tech has emotions inexorably linked to time. Wayfarer Company?
A corporate entity partnered with Limbus Company, responsible for providing portal technology. It has, on prior occasions, been referred to as the new or aspirant W Corp, though the name is an unofficial one.
Our employees have also taken to calling you the new L Corp, something we have in common, given that we're both chasing after the same horizon. Yep, Limbus wants to become the new L Corp, Wayfarer wants to become the new W Corp. No, you're not. You're not gonna. I am not gonna miss the trains because, as anyone who has played L Corp and beaten L Corp will tell you, fuck trains. Not in the dragon way. Not in the dragon way. In the do not exist. If trains stopped existing, I would not be sad.
I remember. The company trying to take W Corp's place, right?
Yes. For those who have not seen the horrors of the r/dragons fucking cars or r/dragons fucking trains, I salute you. You are much more innocent than I. The same horizon. He's probably talking about getting recognized as a wing. After all, the old old L Corp has already fallen, while W Corp, from what I've heard, is free falling at this point. And these are the manager and sinners of the LCB department, our field operations unit, frequently deployed to deal with on-site matters firsthand. They have more personnel, but the rest are tied up with other duties elsewhere. Only a handful will be joining this investigation effort. Can Colbert trains? Huh. Understand. Field operations units are almost always understaffed anyway. The support you provided is more than sufficient. Alan gave an What the fuck? That is not the face I expected. Why are you a twink? I did not expect a twink. Huh? Alan gave an understanding nod. The man stepped out of the bulky helmet before extending his hand in greeting. Yeah, Twitch is lying. Twitch lies. I need to change your voice. You are going to... Ooh. Wayfarer Door Breach. That's an interesting naming convention. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, are they... I may have just put together the dots on something. I think I know what Wayfarer Corp is inspired by. Oh my god. It's IKEA. They're IKEA. Look at them. Blue and yellow. Their entire theme is spatial tech, and their technology is the corridor where you get endlessly lost. They're IKEA! Oh my god, it's incredible. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Name's Alan, leader of Door Breach Team 4. Likewise? Before Faust could even relay my rhetorical greeting, words spilled out of Alan's mouth in a strangely uneven rhythm, as my ticking didn't even bother him at all, like he was sticking into a script he'd rehearsed. I've heard great things about you, Manager Dante of Limbus Company, and the bus team's performance. You capitalized on the suppression of distortions at T-Corp as leverage to push your products, and the profits were nothing short of staggering, I heard. What? Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be distortion resolving specialists to the public. But what's that product part about? Oh, I remember. Oh, I remember now. The official product of the LCB, the monolith, a way to force distortions. The manager says it was merely a matter of luck. They also look forward to working with you on this task. Oh, are you the interpreter? In that case, I'll be sure to consult the manager only when both of you are available. Sure. Bowes didn't seem particularly pleased with the role Alan had pinned on her, but she nodded anyway. Fafnir in the Inzer? I have no idea what that is. She quietly came to my side and answered my earlier question while Alan carried on with Hohenheim. He's referring to the monolith. Yep, monolith. It's the monoliths. I knew it. He's referring to the monolith sales project. The credit was attributed to the LCB at the express request of Mr. Hubert, T-Corp's chief executive director. Yeah. I forgot Dante made a good impression on the head of T-Corp. I completely forgot about that, honestly. Yeah. Dante and the executive director of T-Corp shared the fact that they both followed their star. Yeah, no, the head of T-Corp was somehow like a nice person and seemed to be generally remorseful about what T-Corp had become, but couldn't do anything about it. He seemed to feel like he couldn't do anything about it. But Dante's stubborn following of their own star reminded Hubert of themselves when they were younger and their own ambitions. And alongside that, and the Time Ripper showing they did not know all there was about time, the executive director of T-Corp has been inspired. It seems T-Corp is going to be undergoing some upheavals in in the continuing days.
Oh, so that's how the rumor spread, huh? We've reviewed the agreements. Now, I understand you'll be assisting in verifying what lies beyond the back doors. I'd appreciate if you could share any prior knowledge if you have about where these back doors connect, as detailed as you can make them, if you don't mind. Hohenheim fixed Kira with a pointed look. Though Kira responded by defiantly cocking her head in a show of irritation, she still gave up a sliver of information she had. Honestly, I've got pretty much nothing on if it's about Robo-Unk in his room.
Robo-Unk. Oh my god, girl, you're incredible.
I mean, I've seen Albana hit up that door and the other one over there as she was popping out to farm and stuff, but...
Both? Somehow both. More the first, but a little the second. He was genuinely helpful and seemed to enjoy info dumping. Hubert seemed to be the kind of person who was like, oh, you've asked me about this 4 hours later, and that's how this works.
I mean, I've seen Albana hit up that door and the other one over there when she's popping out the farm stuff, but... farm?
Yes, he is a time techtism.
Oh, it's, gathering material.
I see? Oh, what kind of material?
Human guts and all that? She'd come back hauling piles of them. So they're probably connected to some back streets area.
The back streets? Any more details?
Can you stop prying? You're low-key pissing me off.
Oh, that's not a good expression. Oh no.
What? That's literally all I've got, for real.
For a moment, Alan leveled Kira with a stiff expression. Oh my god. Even before I could register what had happened, Kira's head jerked to the side with a sudden punch by Alan. Oh, he just punched her. Okay.
Ugh!
Ooh, her eyes are glowing. I thought Kira was nimble enough to dodge a surprise attack easily, but this one seemed to have caught her completely off guard. She sat there blinking, eyes round in rude surprise. Actually, it wasn't that he caught her off guard. It was the motion of the punch itself that somehow felt off. The fist being raised, the arm being extended, the blow making contact. The chain of actions was there, but it just didn't look normal.
Did you just hit me? What the hell's wrong with you?
As Kira reeled from the unexpected strike, Don Quixote spoke up in a cold, sharp tone.
Thou, what manner of discourtesy is this?
With all that whining, I thought the brat could use a lesson to remind her of her place. I had no intention of damaging your company asset, of course. I simply assumed the level of warning would not be inappropriate in this case. Team Leader Alan, that sort of conduct may not be an issue in your organization, but it is here. Should it happen again, do you understand that we may choose to terminate today's joint engagement without delay? My apologies. I will keep that in mind going forward. Alan stood down without arguing back, but Kira looked far from satisfied with how Hohenheim handled the situation.
He gets to sock me in the face and walk off scot-free? So freaking annoying.
Fortunately enough, her grumbling didn't escalate into her lashing out at Alan. Berg? Oh, Black 2. Oh, the gym leader! Oh, right, the gym leader. That punch just now, though. Something was off about that. I've seen enough combat to know how generally those work, but... What was that?
It exhibited a behavior that defied the standard laws of physics.
Oh?
Presumably a form of technology utilized by Wayfair Company.
Let us resume the task at hand. Sinner Ryoshu, give Manager Alan whatever information you have. That door should lead to one of the ring-protected turfs. The other two on the left, I remember they were marked with an X painted with blood. But I have no idea where they actually lead. It's all blurry. It seems that's all the information we can provide. Will that suffice? We now know that the door is likely connected to a perceivable area. That's already a big improvement in terms of intel for Wayfarer companies. Backdoor mapping progress. Yeah. For those who don't know how the back door works, how the corridor technology works, if you know where you're going and have a clear destination in the back door, in the corridor, you're fine. If you don't, you get swallowed by it. Which means there's less chance of us encountering a space beyond human perception past those doors. Ah, yeah, what Heathcliff almost ran into. Alright then, I'll proceed with connection verification. Which door shall we test first? We'll start with the one Cineriosh mentioned.
Ah, you don't trust me at all, huh? And why even bring me along?
Ignoring Kira's jab, Alan began setting up various devices on the door, and soon an elegant white door opened before us. Well, we know if you break open the corridor while you know where you're going, it's an endless void. Well, not an endless void. It's an endless procession of the exact same thing. Buildings and buildings. Gravity shifts. You thought you're standing up straight? No, you're upside down. You're to the side. Everything shifts. We know this because Virgilius went out there and drop kicked a ring docent. That's from Leviathan. Ignoring Kira's jam, Alan began setting up various devices on the door. Soon an elegant white door opened before us. Oh, I missed that again. God damn it. Shall we? Oh yeah, art thou joining us as well, young Hohenheim? Just this once. That procedures for handing over field operations. Okay, let's see what's in there.
Huh?
Oh, fuck. Oh, we're already here, aren't we? Oh, no. That looks like a whale. That looks like a whale from the lake, from the Great Lake. But all the rest of this, these are all unique. This is the Favis art gallery, isn't it?
What the? Is this some kind of wildlife exhibit?
I can hear Ishi screaming, yes. The moment we stepped in, the lights hit us all at once, drawing squints and frowns from the sinners. Thanks to my lack of physical eyes, I could make out a room filled with statues, or perhaps taxidermied animals. Yes, it's a good thing Yi Sang isn't here. A taxidermy genius would be way too tempting for them. It felt like a gallery of sorts, but it was so quiet the air itself seemed to carry a strange, somber weight. Wait, Joker? Are you talking about Dante? After a moment, someone shattered the silence, but it wasn't Don Quixote, our usual suspect.
Ooh, holy shit! This killer's insane! That's the whale from Aid Association Great Lakes special issue!
Are we getting Aid Association lore? We have heard like nothing about them before. I don't think we know like jack shit about the Aid Association. We know about the Seven, but she knows about it, so this is definitely a ring. Kira, who'd seemed beaten down all along, exclaimed with a bit more energy in her voice.
Man, seeing it in real life sure hits different. And the Indigo Elder solo one-shot these monsters with that harpoon of his, huh?
That man was slightly terrifying, but also so goddamn cool. I have to agree with you there, Kira. That man is awesome. It's a Great Lake whale. Doesn't look like the one we encountered, though. Yes. The blue guy looks like Joker in a Oh my god.
Organisms of various sources can be identified here. Singularity modified. Outskirts born.
They look almost alive. They're not, right?
No, they're... not. Duh. The Robo-Unk did say the ring has these zoos where they put monsters on display alive. Man, this would have been way more fun if we could see the moving ones. Everything here's dead. Meh. Still looks crazy sick, though. The vibe really hits.
Even though she was trying to play it cool, Kira kept sneaking glances at the massive horn display off to the side, clearly surprised in a way she couldn't hide. That said, I felt a distinct shortage of hyperactivity, given the presence of a certain someone in our party. Oh, that's not good. The light in her eyes is gone.
Don Quixote?
Oh.
The eye of a second kindred of House Tepes. What is it doing here?
Oh no. First of all, House Tepes! Dracula's here! Good to know. Second of all, hello, Sancho. At the mention of the word kindred, I couldn't help but follow Don Quixote's gaze. Which one? Oh! Oh, I didn't even notice that. It was a minor thing there. But that is a bright red eye. Fully on display. I couldn't help but follow Don Quixote's gaze. Opposite the whale was another kind of exhibit. It contained items leading on the more gruesome side of things, starting with the crimson eyeball that caught Don Quixote's attention, and body parts like hands and bones that looked like they'd been stripped from the human body. Kira is the middle apprentice. She was cut in half by her nurse father, Matthias.
It's a gallery of the School of Fauvism. Probably a main studio at that, which comes with the maestro's atelier and an auction house.
What is Limbus Company? Peak. That is the only answer I can give you, O Lord of Hong Yuan. There's a maestro here. Alon, we'll be making our exit shortly. Prepare to initiate lockdown sequence. Before Hodenheim could even finish his urgent transmission, it's too late. Numerous footsteps closed in from somewhere nearby. It really is the... What the hell? What is this music? That's sick as... Oh, that's good music. Okay, this is ominous. Also, I just have to say, the dude in the middle, peak drip. That is extremely good drip. I can't say the same about the furries to the right, left or right of him. Visible stitch marks, really, guys? But the guy in the middle is fucking peak drip. Turning towards the sound of shoes clacking on the floor, we found strange figures wearing animal masks staring directly at us. Oh, Kira has... Oh, her eyes are glowing again.
That presence. It's kind of like Papa's.
Oh no. That's a Maestro of the Ring, isn't it?
Hey, no way! That's not a raid boss we... Oh, wait, no way! That's not a raid boss we can clear our level! We gotta get out of here!
It's not that simple. Retreating is not a viable solution here. Yeah, Kira's eyes glow sometimes. Her eyes are generally just regular purple. When the glower goes on, her eyes start glowing. Yeah, beast soul helmets with a la predators with suits is very cool. This door is connected to the House of Spiders. Escaping without installing a security system will invite pursuit. We must stall them until Alon is ready to initiate the lockdown sequence. Do we know why they're glowing? Nope, it's the middle. As tension thickened, one of the strangers, who wore a peculiar bone mask, stepped forward. The voice that spoke to us carried equal parts curiosity and delight. Okay.
Ah, you came through that door. Then the house's fall wasn't just a baseless rumor. A stray little spiderling fallen from a parent's web. How many years has it been? You. Who are you? Oh,
Oh, right. It makes sense you would fail to recognize me. I used to wear a different mask back when I used to visit as your tutor, didn't I? A wolf, if memory serves right. Yes, that must have been when I was quite captivated by the sensation of tearing into the raw, still thrashing flesh of living prey, and the predator's ferocious yet cavernous resonant howling. Rings a bell. You're that maestro whose lesson whose whole lesson was a 3-hour seminar praising the intensity of primary colors and the strength of living creatures. But not, was it?
I'm looking that up. I am looking up that name. Because that feels like someone who actually exists. That's a professional wrestler. We want art. Benoit Gallery. That's Louisiana. Artist. A French painter. A French painter. They were born Acliez, standard school in Orleans. He was creative director of Euro Disney? Inspired modern architecture, includes Brazilian branch, pop culture, by Elton John and John Michel. This is probably not the right person, but whatever. Interesting. Yeah, the intensity of primary colors. Well, it makes sense about the kit, what the kit previews I've seen then.
That's right, Emile Benoit. And they say you can't hatch a phoenix from a chicken's egg. Doesn't always apply, I see.
A phoenix from... That's an interesting idiom. Huh.
Looks like that mind of yours is still as sly as a raven, unlike your nurse father's. Don't presume. I only remember you because that tactily of hides and guts made for passable artwork. At first glance, it looked like Ryoshi was casually taking a trip down memory lane with the maestro. But I had a feeling she was, in fact, dragging this out on purpose to buy us time. That lockdown sequence thing, how much longer till it's ready? Young Hohenheim, the lockdown sequence!
Don Quixote, who has been shooting the ring members an incensed glare sparked by the discovery of a kindred's eye, swiftly relayed my words to Hohenheim without even a hint of her earlier shenanigans. I'm afraid the progress and speed of the lockdown sequence lies in Alan's hands, not mine. It is, by its nature, a time-consuming work. We cannot expect haste. Perhaps that does make this a suitable juncture to trial Plan A. What? What do you mean Plan A? Plan A?
Any suggestions that involve Don Quixote removing her shoes will not be dignified with a serious discussion. Instead,
maybe what Hohenheim had in mind had nothing to do with Don Quixote's shoes, because he opened his mouth as though he was about to retort to Faust's categorical rejection. But the moment he followed Faust's eyes and saw what she was looking at, he quietly shut his mouth and said nothing further. Don't use Arya Shiki already. Arya Shiki should really be a last resort, you know! That blade is dangerous! And Arya sacrificed herself to bring Ryoshi back. We should honor that sacrifice.
Faith and potentiality is not something I dislike. As for this, however, this seems more like grasping at straws.
At the end of their gaze was Ryoshi's blade, Araya Shiki.
I was going to try using it anyway.
Ryoshu, no! Don't try to use it instantly! Ryoshu! Girl, no!
I've long wanted to see if a maestro's death is any different.
Telling him that we were just leaving
won't work, will it? No, it won't. Every individual present here would be quite the fascinating specimen to the artists of the ring. We're practically a windfall of inspiration in that material that has so conveniently been delivered to them. Is it improbable that they will allow us to return in unharmed?
Faust is right. She and Hohenheim are geniuses, and Ryoshi is the wielder of Araya Shiki. Don Quixote is a kindred of a higher generation, and I happen to house a golden bow in my head. I have no idea how much information the ring has on us, but even if they knew nothing, they wouldn't let us go easily. Are you sure about this, Ryoshu?
Doesn't matter if I'm SAT or not, Clock. Think of that woman as Lei Hang, and do as you did wait, Lei Hang. Whose mansion? Which one is? Wait, HC. What? No. I'm not certain what she's saying there. Oh! Hong Lu? No. No. Heathcliff! Heathcliff's mansion. Yeah, Heathcliff. That's Heathcliff. Think of that woman as you lay hang and do as you did in Heathcliff's mansion. I'll take care of the rest. Right. That's probably our best shot. What Ryoshu meant was quite clear. Resonate with the golden bow, secure an advantage to fight on equal footing, then catch them off guard by slowing down the flow of time. A cut from the Rayashiki, even if it doesn't give us a real fighting chance, might at least stall the Maestro long enough to give us the time to get away. This floor of the exhibit only houses submissions from the students and docents. But if you look closely enough, there are some possible ones that show the promise of excellence. And above all, this is a gallery of the School of Fauvism. And mine, the gallery of Emile Benoit. Which is why I would have preferred to take you without an unnecessary fight, if possible. A shame. Still, we're talking about a unique relic here, a masterless one at that. Acquiring the Rayashiki makes it worth the cost. You would not be able to use it at all. If you want the taste. Huh? Confusion flickered across Ryoshu's face as she tried to unsheath her blade. What's the matter? Ow? The lock that the House of Spiders used to bind the Rayashiki no longer exists. So why can't I draw the blade? Oh. Hello, Arya. Arya will not let her draw it. Is that right? Now that's unexpected. So the rumors of you mastering that relic, were they false? The Maestro only gave a loose swing of her arm, but it was enough to make Ryoshu recoil. A shadow of surprise crossed her face. The wound looked like nothing more than a light gash, yet the Maestro's contemplative gaze shifted between the blood on Ryoshu's arm and her own, as though the attack had been an experiment to prove a hypothesis. It wasn't hard to guess what she was thinking. Noticed, did you? I had my doubts from the moment I saw you today. Was the House of Spiders a success or a failure? Tell me, Yoshihide, what do you think a serpent's defining strength is? What are you on about now? Ask any student and they'll give the same predictable answers. The deadly venom, the sleek scales. Why, it's lamentably disappointing. The Maestro advanced towards us with an assured certainty, then seized a beige thread hanging from the ceiling. A beige thread hanging from the ceiling. No, calling it a mere thread would be wrong. The something that resembled a thread, yet felt much more disturbing. I, for one, have a particular liking for the jaw and the spine. The flexibility of the spine, linked like a chain. And the jaw, bound not by bone, but by ligaments that allow the animal to swallow its prey whole. Perhaps I should say that I admire the structural refinement. The thrice-coiled ring on her thrice coiled. She's made 3 masterpieces of the ring. And gave off a cold glint, and the walls and ceiling suddenly began to echo with a sickening squelch and crack of flesh and bones assembling. What the hell was that? Which brings me to ask, what better way to claim this delivery of promising material with a single bite than a work of art fashioned from a snake? The Maestro plunged her arm into the long, serpentine body of a monster. Her sheer presence raised a pressure as oppressive as that of Nurse Father's, only more primal and untempered. Consider it a privilege. This is the first time this piece has ever been exhibited to an outsider. Hohenheim, is the lockdown sequence still not ready? 1 minute to go. Step aside. The attack from the ego gear Hohenheim hastily brandished didn't even last a moment. The weapon was knocked from his hand. As I scrambled to equip the sinners with identities, something abruptly stopped the beast-like appendage midway through its hurtling of motion. And the one who intercepted the blow... Kikira? Robo-Man, I only made the one, I think.
Kira, thank you! Shit!
Was Kira, struggling to push back against the serpentine arm with her still sealed blades.
Kira?
Did she suddenly have a change of heart I wasn't aware of?
Shit. This wasn't the plan at all!
Obviously not. She couldn't have changed her mind that quickly. Because the look in her face couldn't be anything other than that of utter regret. The middle, For someone who doesn't seem to be a proper member, you think quite the quantity of tattoos on yourself. Aha! You must be the new kid, Matthias Token. Why do you stand in my way?
Fuck this fine now. I'm already regretting that, alright?
Okay. Seems she has the most important memory of the middle. Body moved before her brain.
Damn it! They're definitely gonna ditch me here! Why did they even... Must be instinct taking over. Couldn't fully shake off the opponent's killing intent, so the body chose to clash head-on.
So the behavior of a facet of the psychic can be controlled with suitable training. Unexpected data, but useful to be sure.
Shut it, mister! Quit yapping and let me use my blades!
Authorized and ready. Lifting locks. Now! Kira's thermal weapons emerge from their sheaths with a metallic clang. She used the recoil of the motion to skid back and assume a defensive stance. Naturally, that broke Benoit's arm from the deadlock as well. The maestro lashed out again with that monstrous limb, but...
Huh?
It's a foul injustice to strike against an unprepared opponent in a duel. Behold, for I shall allow thee a glimpse of the badass form that only the most renowned of fixers shall have displayed through the ages. Seeing an opening, Don Quixote slammed into the arm with her full might, knocking it off its trajectory. Predictably, however, the sheer force of the maestro's attack instantly reduced her to a red sludge of flesh and bone, sending her remains crashing into the door. God damn it, Don Quixote. Ready to initiate lockdown sequence. I will see the door immediately upon your exit. Everyone to the door. Faust, retrieve the organic remnants of sinner number 3. As Faust made her exit with what was once Don Quixote, the students of the ring surrounded Kira, barring her way out. A hollow chuckle slipped out of her lips.
Called it for real. It's exactly why I didn't want to get involved.
Taking Kira back with us would mean having a sizable force of the ring trail right behind her through the door. Kira, too, seemed to have realized the risk that no one in their right mind would want to take. She lowered her head in defeat, as though she knew full well that the fate that awaited her.
I'm such a dumbass. What was I thinking diving in like that?
You! Don't just stand there! Get over here now! As I've said multiple times, Hodenheim is a jackass with the biggest fucking heart of gold. The fact she tried to help, she almost sacrificed herself for them, is more than enough. He's a fucking softie.
Huh? But these guys are gonna come flooding in if I...
You, want to get cleaned in half again?
You pin this on me later, you're gonna pay.
Blocking the Maestro's arm by a hair as it came down on her again, Kira hurled herself towards the door with every bit of strength she could muster. More than a few students rushed in through the doorway, chasing after the sinners, who had gone in ahead, but... Lockdown sequence complete! All backdoor links have been cut. Fortunately, Alan managed to sever the connection between the two back doors where the Maestro could cross over. Holy shit, thank God. Ball cut. Think you can still use your arms?
I'm fine.
So she says. Kira would be a strong enough addition to the fight for us, but the ring members that have managed to cross formed a rather sizable force. Fighting them off, which of the sinners that I have at my side would not be the best course of action. In that case... Guys, I assume you're all available right now? As soon as I call out to the sinners, their voices come through Hodenheim's radio, one after another.
Huh? I guess so?
Ready for your order, Executive Manager. I, Otis, am prepared to answer your call whenever and wherever.
Hang on, I just need to finish this fight. Everyone to me.
Malkuth, the kingdom. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Malkuth. We've got the Malkuth here. Kira! Kira's on our side. The House of Spiders, crossed out. The middle, crossed out. LCE, in question marks. Good, 329 HP, level 65, so still above us. Her skills, time for some warm-up. Looks like 10 rolling, gets final power, get up to 12 roller. Unbreakable coin. Ooh, the middle styled has been crossed out from her augmentations. Fully badass ass kicking, blunt damage, dagger threshold. The middle has also been crossed out, just grudge. Disemboweling, yep, thermal blade's still going. Envy damage up, more grudge. Sees a bleed burn ID still. God, that's +4 bleed count. God, I know some people who kill for that. Violet breaking slam, gets thermal blade, middle style augmentations, middle style augmentation tattoos, middle grudge, more grudge. Defensive skill is, it's the middle one. Yep, reuse the skill for every middle style augmentation. Passives. Panic type is Fervor. Fits her. Gain defense level down and damage up. And then her passives. Thermal weapon begins with them off. At 2 middle style augmentation tattoos, they turn on. It makes her bleed skills also inflict burn. The middle, oh, it's been fully crossed out. The middle identity has been fully crossed out. That's neat. What ID would fit her? Hey. Hey, do you think Magical Girl of Wrath would fit her? Goodbye skill, gain grudge. Allies hit, gain grudge. Max grudge, use powerful attack. At less than HP gates, gain a grudge. Alright. Any unique status effects? Just thermal blades. And now let's check out the School of Fauvism. Impulsive Fauvist student of the Ring. The Ring, School of Fauvism, Fingers, student. They are Blinking, otherwise known as Bleed Sinking. Wild Stroke, Mauled Color, same thing with the IDs. La Fazumette, Painted Unfurl. Flash Lose, can't stagger. Mauled Color Rouge is still there, though. Panic type, Faltering Inspiration. Passives, Intense Primary Color, Rouge. Before hitting, if target does not have bleed, inflict 3 bleed count. God, some bleed teams would kill for that. That is very nice. On hit with a skill, inflict Mauled Color Rouge. Is this the same thing as... I think it is. Ooh, lore. Some say that the ring's paint is made from the same base material as augmentation tattoos. They're both nigh indelible pigments that take considerable effort to erase, let alone bleach. The first step is always but a single animal, and with every quest for art and fidelity, another beast is layered upon the previous specimen. Oh, so the School of Fauvism is a school of chimeras. That is what their aspirations are. Dual Inspiration, gain offense level up, attack power up for every Rouge, and final brushstroke when killed, inflict Mauled Color Rouge. And now, what about the winged people? They are Mauled Color Blue. Yeah, that's, I was also thinking that. Mauled Color Blue, so you are sinking focused instead of bleed focused. First expression, haste, finishing touches. Anything new on the defensive skill? Nope. Let's check the passives. It is the same panic type. Mauled Color to deal more damage and gain fragile. Yeah, this has been happening before. We've had assist NPCs in combat before. Like, the last Kanto was almost entirely assist NPCs. Here's not supposed to be a new member of the bus and playable party. I think she might be... No, she's not LCB. She wasn't LCB, question mark. She was LCE, question mark. Extraction. That's Hodenheim's group. Primary Color Blue. God, sinking teams would kill for these. Any of the status teams would kill for these intense primary color passives. Mauled Color Blue. If the middle uses their tattoos for self-augmentation, does that make the ring's tattoos more brands that, when forcibly applied, weaken their enemies? Le Fauvisme, Masque de Shadow Vehible. There are beasts that fall in and out of vogue within the School of Fauvism. Yes, but a true artist must take fierce pride in that single animal as the underdrawing that which best represents their unique self. Despite this wisdom, however, there are those who flit from beast to beast. as though the self is little more than a costume to be worn and discarded. Astronaut's expression. Unit speed is higher, clash power. Final brushstroke, same thing. Yeah, there are PM D&D setups. They're just, the ones I've seen are D&D 5e, so I have not bothered bringing them up to you. Alright, you probably want to get that, because there's a better chance of winning. Are we already... No, I should not suit up on Dolahan. Well, it's clashable, so might as well. Yes, that is why I have not said anything, Kos. God, the magical girl in my sinking team is incredible. Found a fuck ton of Theon homebrew music all in a campaign. Good for ya! Hope you enjoy it. Oh, god damn it, Honglu. Please don't stagger. Good. Crossing Dervish. Nice job, Kira. Mind Strike. Hello, Dolahan. I really should not have brought you out so early. Whatever. How are you still clashing so terribly? How are you? I'm honestly impressed at this point. You know what? Sure, I'll let you do this. I forgot to do the thing. Roja, it's time for you to get set up with your utterly absurd abilities. X-Ring member who's his Queen of Hatred ego. Oh, god damn it. Oh my god! Did you see that Kira had dialogue there? I'm half-deep now, but I still got it. The instant Heathcliff got staggered, she said, "Oh, bro, seriously?" And I'm half-seas now, but I've still got it. That's a statement. Okay. Let's get some... this. Two going. Yeah, X-Ring member. Nice. It'd be neat to play a middle ID, just entirely because going all in on family and berserkerness would be neat. As Mistress commands. I definitely made the right choice in using this team, because sinking is so good against human enemies. Yeah, it is interesting though that the School of Fauvism, even though it oh my god, when did you get a 16 sinking stack, Honglu? The fuck? Sorry, it's interesting that the School of Fauvism, for all that it's shown that that they focus in, like as it says right here, they focus in on a single animal and layer over, like as a Cometa. According to the Maestro, in the text of this one, you should have a primary expression in how it works. That is honestly fascinating. It is interesting to see how they feel about this and think. Fire, voice. Yeah, glitter is the goddamn. Come on, a ton of beats! The ring is very interesting, just how they're it's art. They are artists. They're also horrifying. And that is part of the art. God, that would be a very funny quest to do. So, you don't mind if I chop and melt him, right? A very funny quest to do could be, you are a Kyuubi light. You are going to set up magical girls. Good luck. That could be very interesting for someone to do. Come on, people. Let's get this going. Oh yeah, but don't like when I say Kyuubi light, I mean it like actually. Like they don't have the thing you're doing. Basically, you are extremely sus magical girl contractor. You're a magical girl contractor? Raise your magical girls. It's like Princess Train, but magical girls. Like, you know that Z-Tune intervalo? Like that. You can't have multiple magical girls, but you're gonna have to balance, like, every little thing. And another interesting thing this is not my brainchild. This is also the brainchild of, I forgot where I saw this, but I remember seeing someone, like, theorizing about this. Like, for example, like, there's a grief seed thing. There's a grief seed X, basically, that you get from the shrine. And they are what you use to upgrade magical girls. But you don't have to use them on the magical girl that got it. So it's entirely up to you if you're going to be trustworthy.
It's only the first door, and the impedance are already beyond expected levels. I swear. That was for me back... I thought that was it for me back there.
Events of this nature, won't be frequent. We merely beset by ill luck.
If you just listened to me and picked another door, you wouldn't have to gotten cooked like that in the first place.
Oh my god, she actually is Gen Z. Oh my god, she actually says cooked. Incredible.
Like, why even drag me into this if you weren't gonna trust me? Weirdos.
Might have opened them all at the end of the day, SD.
SD? What's that?
Same difference.
Again, why shorten it like that? Just say duh or something. Or just spell it out and say it was anticipated.
That's what My god, she's not even... She's so not used to Ryoshu.
Huh?
Good work, everyone. Wayfarer does have a team dedicated to this sort of task. But the mortality rate is quite high. Honestly, I was bracing myself for the worst. The odds of completing the first door of an expedition without any casualties are under 15%. This, by all measures, counts as a flawless expedition. Tapping away at his device, Alan addressed us with an amicable smile. He seemed totally different from the same man who manhandled Kira with a fist to her face. Those Favis won't be able to cross over anymore with the door completely locked down, right? That cannot be asserted with certainty. Are you saying more might come? The corridors and back doors have always been the ring's turf clock. And those Favis beasts have endured a long-standing faction within the ring. If they got that much history, they must know many back doors, both the origin and destination points. Alan clarified what Ryoshi was hinting at. Yes, compared to them, we lack sufficient knowledge of alternate routes, which makes it difficult to prevent infiltration. No need to concern yourselves over much. That is allowed. Stop smart detecting it. Congratulations, Infinite Nuts. You've joined the hallowed halls of those who keep getting caught by Automod. Even if that were the case, it would likely to move on the House of Spiders so soon.
They can always rush for a surprise attack, though.
Even that Falvis Maestro seemed to lack clear intel on the event that took place at the House of Spiders. If so, it follows that they will need time to assess and deliberate about the situation.
The situation? Forsooth. The logical scope of the concerns will be identifying the organization that has secured the House of Spiders, the possibility of additional traps beyond the back doors, and the like.
It's only got 3 of them so far. Yeah, there is something deeply wrong with IKEA Man. Once all backdoor related procedures related to House of Spiders are completed, the resulting security framework should be able to preempt and block any infiltration techniques. This operation is more important than I thought. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna check something. What are the... It's moderation, right? Settings for moderation. Open that in a new tab. Create a dashboard. Where is... That's setter control. Chatter permission. I'm not making you do phone verification. Hell no. Automod and message filtering. Smart detection. Don't give... likely messages only. That's the same setting. Oh, we have some filtering set up for if you do threatening, inciting, and promoting violence and other harm. And same with sexual harassment. Might as well remove those, because I'll just ban someone if they're an asshole about it. There we go. Yep. You're not human. He's definitely very modded. He's definitely very modded. This operation is way more important than I thought. And that aside, why couldn't I draw the blade? Is the new scabbard's fault? Oh, don't blame your daughter. Pat the daughter. Ryoshu lifted the sheathed sword with an irritated frown. And that's when I felt a faint vibration. What? The blade was twitching ever so slightly. What? Oh, right! For those who don't know, that sheath, that scabbard, that's Arya's ego. In one of the passives, that's her ego. For those who did not know. That was when I felt a faint vibration. The blade was twitching ever so slightly. That quivering was faint. 'Twas seen by all, indeed. Damn, I saw it too. Is it possessed or something? Looks like I wasn't the only one who saw the sword twitching, as though it wasn't pleased at all with how Ryoshi was talking about the scabbard. Oh my god, Ari! She is a sword spirit now! Oh, that's wonderful. Ryoshu's gaze lingered on the sword before slowly shifting towards the back doors. Could it be that seeing the scabbard brought back some memory of Arya? Ryoshu, do you... Is it an SS? Sword spirit? A demon edge? An enchanted blade? Which is it? Oh, she's excited. For those who don't know, Ryoshu is very chuny. In her W Corp Uptie story, she named the warp katana she was assigned Dimensional Demon Blade, Dimensional Refraction, Dimensional Demon Edge. Demon Blade, Dimensional Demon Edge. She's so happy. Huh. It's probably neither of those. Nor is it a sentient sword. This presents a fine opportunity to conduct another examination of the sword. Excuse us for a moment, Team Leader Alan. Please feel free to go ahead. But... misogyny? What do you mean you... I'm just gonna let the message go through. What do you mean that message was held for misogyny? Arya is Ryoshu's daughter. The adopted daughter that was a, not clone, but basically gene baby made by some Thumb subsidiaries. I am very amused that Automod held the coast for misogyny. That is not what I thought it would be holding the coast for. Feel free to go ahead. Yeah, MILF is why is MILF auto-modded? Where's the misogyny settings? God, that is not a sentence I thought I would ever say. That is not a sentence I thought I would ever say. Where are the misogyny settings? Where's that? Okay, I'm disabling filtering for that. Sex. Okay, I'm disabling filtering for misogyny and sex. Because apparently there's stuff there. There we go. MILF is auto-modded under a term used for misogyny. Why is MILF auto-modded under a term used for misogyny? Please, feel free to go ahead. The talk just now damaged some devices, so you're going to have to perform some maintenance before continuing. There's plenty of other work for me to do while you're away, too. I'll be to return to headquarters for the research facility then. No, that won't be necessary. There is a facility here that should prove more than adequate. Also, holy shit. We have gone through 3 levels. We are 2 hours in. Time is passing. Relics in the sign. We're about to get lore. Give me a sec. I may have forgotten to eat anything today, so I'm gonna go grab some bread. The bread is being toasted so it's warm. I am toasting the bread so it's warm. Pita bread is nice, just raw. Well, not raw. Technically cooked, I think. Like, usually on the grill, I think how pita bread is cooked. Oh. The texture is very good. I just like bread texture. Well, pita bread specifically. Actually, most bread. No, not sliced bread. I like not sliced bread. I like it when you can bite in and the structure is still all there and it's all connected. The NEET has eaten. Okay, good. Acceptable. Oh, the NEET is much better about food, so. I should. And now, I actually. I can technically set up. No, not gonna bother with natural meal. I'll just grab bread. The bread has become warm! The bread is now eatable. Wonderful. I have had 0.3? I haven't had breakfast or lunch, so the bread will count. Alright. It is time for more lore. Relics and the sign. Yes, I did. I grabbed 2 bread, not 1. That's an interesting set. Oh, but it's the House of Spiders forward base, of course. I'm not starving myself. This is how I eat. Food is something that comes up when the stomach demands it. Otherwise, I don't care. Valentine brought us to what looks like a research lab, lined with cables, rows of screen, diagrams of complex symbols and shapes. Oh, okay, oh god, you missed Ryoshi's Kanto. I really need to upload that VOD. Because, honestly, the full Kanto was probably, like, 17 hours of stream. Probably, like, 17 hours. Yes, it was very much a boss rush. First of all, Ryoshu originates from the House of Spiders, a collaboration from the 5 fingers of the city, otherwise known as the 5 greatest crime syndicates of the city, for the sole purpose of creating the perfect wielder for the relic known as Arayashiki. She was raised for the exact purpose. And there was new Dante's. No, don't. Skip is the only way I can get out of it. Whatever. I'm gonna re-go over that in a bit, but I just want to check something because. Yes. Give me rewards. I want to do. We have new notes on Arayashiki. Syndicates, the fingers, House of Spiders. House of Spiders has been said to be formed by the 5 fingers with a common goal. The fingers, at least those that come across, hardly seem like they can be the sort that ever see eye to eye. Learning that they can actually come together and cooperate was a bit surprising. Makes you wonder if they ever teamed up for anything else behind the scenes. The organization is made up of 5 nurse fathers, chosen from each finger, and 5 apprentices, brought in to fill the gap after Ryoshu left. They came up with grand terms what they were gathered to create. The strongest killer, the blade that cuts through all. But these are really just another way to dress up the true purpose of their organization. To nurture and train someone with an aptitude to wield the Arayashiki and turn them into something akin to a living concept incinerator. That someone turned out to be Ryoshu, our sinner number 4. And while most of its members didn't survive survive to see it, the house did accomplish their objective in the end. Otis suggested that the Muga, which the house tried to turn Ryoshu into, emptiness or void, might be a kind of concept incinerator too, but Faust flatly rejected the idea. The principle and nature of the Muga are entirely different from how a concept incinerator might work. According to Honenheim, a technology capable of burning away the very concept of knowledge, the very concept of an object or a being, simply by throwing the thing you want erased into it, that alone would amount to a singularity. Isang added that is because all that has been tethered to what has been placed within the Muga has been severed away, and that which is severed from all becomes what exists yet has been disconnected from the world, thereby its state assuming non-existence for the universe. I might not have understood that explanation before, but now I think I can at least piece together a little something. Rhine, the Index Nurse Father, left a warning that Ryoshu will be the most important subject of discussion in the next Fingerbow Bell. I have no idea how exactly a Fingerbow Bell takes place or how dangerous it might be, but one thing's for certain. It's coming. I'll need to brace myself for the trouble it comes. Yeah. Ryoshu was born and created to Shiomioru, one of the members of the Pinky, who was entrapped within the House of Spiders from her wanderings across the city in order to assist in the creation of Ryoshu, otherwise known as, she was made to have a daughter even though she didn't want one. Now, granted, she's not a great person anyway, but still terrible. The other Nurse Fathers were brought in because all of them, every single Nurse Father in some way, is a disgrace to the Finger's ideals, what they want to represent. Generally, they aren't, actually a disgrace, because the Fingers are terrible. News at 11. And the reason Shiomioru was chosen as the mother to become, for the child to become Ryoshu, was because her bloodline had an interesting property. Eyes that see time. The people of her bloodline, or the women of her, just anyone in her bloodline, could inherit eyes that saw time almost perfectly. Now, not exactly perfectly. They're different in some ways, weird in other. But Ryoshu was made to be the strongest expression of this perfect view of time ever born. Because that was what is required to wield the Arayashiki. Also, I need to get back to this. Back in. Relics in the sign. Heldenheim brought us to what looked like a research lab, lined with cables, rows of screens, and diagrams full of complex symbols and shapes. I didn't know there was a place like this in the House of Spiders, huh? This is a forward base constructed by Limbus Company following Operation Spiderpire. It did not exist prior to the house's fall. It is intended for additional backdoor investigation and research into regular phenomena observed during the operation. We're not joking about, by the way, he is, well, the official title for the Roach Emperor is a Wing's Decisive Weapon. But he is known as Potential Man for a reason. We do not want him to reach his potential, it will kill us all. Yeah, for an idea as to how strong the Roach Emperor was, Virgilius was there. He was fighting against the Roach Emperor with us, assisting his best. He went ego, fighting the Roach Emperor. If the sinners weren't there to assist Virgilius, Virgilius would have lost. The regular phenomena? Yeah, he has more super forms. Gregor... Herman did something to her son. The Roach Emperor is only the first layer of the wrapping paper that Herman embedded in his body. Irregular phenomena? An example. Research subjects such as a spatial analysis of the correlation between
The emergence of Sinner number 11 sign and the manifestation of possible future.
Yeah, a possible future, a certain Sinclair, the second Smoke War. Which was when I put together that the first Smoke War was a World War I allergy. Allegory, not allergy, wrong word, goddammit.
Oh. Looking around, I spotted Sinclair and a group of researchers surrounding him. The same people who had dragged him off earlier. They were accompanied by a gaggle of sinners who tagged along to either watch the show or kill some time while they took a breather after work. Yeah, according to some people who are familiar with Distortion Detective, the blue smoke of the second Smoke War has been seen before. Candles that force distortion gave off blue smoke over in Distortion Detective. Hohenheim, how long will the examination take? With Sinclair's biometric assessment concluded, the analyzer device should be available for the relic now. Okay, no. The gods of the city are different. The head is the head. They're the city itself. They run the city. They are the foundation, the backbone of it. The gods of the city are entities that preside over things in it. For example, we only know two gods of the city, and both of them are in some way connected to the prescript. There's the loom that weaves the paper prescripts, which has been theorized to be Poseidon as an Earthshaker. And then there's the god of the city that Reen, Ryoshu's father, and Sora followed, Hermes. The god of the city whose prescripts are carried on radio waves. Which means that it should be finished in an hour from now at the latest. The scabbard rattled again at the mention of an hour. Yep, the loam worked off vibrations from the city's movement. I don't know why or how, but the way it swayed almost felt like a child's trembling. Oh. It really is Arya. It's moving again. Come along, Ryoshu. I expect you will want to witness the procedure. Fine. Ryoshu and Hohenheim headed off to the side. The examination was probably going to start immediately. Time to get to Sinclair, then. Wait. I was making my way towards Sinclair, who was getting bombarded with questions, when an unexpected figure behind a pillar caught my eye. It was Vespa, Crabro, with a big piece of paper crumpled in crooked handwriting taped on his back. Did Urza put a kick me sign on him? Snack thief? A miniature! Oh my god. Cannon snacks! Mr. Shinping ate up all of them!
Sorry, I think there's been some misunderstanding.
Berg, kick his ass!
Not only is this matter not worth pointing fingers over, but Charon also shares some of the responsibility for leaving them out on the table unattended. Still, I would prefer you exercise more care next time, or you'll put me in a tough spot. Understood. Charon?
Cannon! Super Soaking mode engaged. Not talking for half a day.
Deploying super pass bitter candy.
Beep beep! Mode disabled!
Oh, that's adorable. Oh, you're adorable. Virgilius, you are also adorable. You are such a father. You are such a dad. Oh my god, you've never been such a dad before. Why are you such a dad? I'm not sure if this is an appropriate request, but may I remove the paper from my back now? It's a little inconvenient for me.
Honestly? Yeah, Virgilius is the father of the year.
I will not argue with that. In the city, for all of the canonical father figures we know of, Virgilius is father of the year. Just currently from this one impression, yes. Also, what is... Oh god, you'll never believe the reason that Automod is catching Dilf. You'll never believe the reason Automod is catching Dilf. Oh my god. Dilf, the term, is caught for bullying. Bullying. That's what Dilf is caught for. Oh. Oh, that's hilarious. Do I even have... Like, come on, Automod. Let me see these. No filtering. Okay, fuck it. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn off... I'll keep that, sure. I'm just disabling all the filtering, because why the fuck not? There we go, all filters disabled. It's over, Kos. Your hatred is over. Also, no, Vespa, you will keep the snack thief. That is an official title for you. I am never forgetting the yellow harpoon? No, that's not your title. Your title is the snack thief.
Come on, forgives this time. Next time, no mercy.
Best make sure she doesn't listen to that radio channel again. Radio channel? That reminds me of Hermes. Virgilius looked on with an inscrutable expression as Charon peeled the snack thief sign off Vespa's back. Make sure to remember this, so you don't have to think I'm burning through what little candy chance I have left on such trivial nonsense. What little candy chance? God, Dilf is just the correct term to refer to you, isn't it? Thank you. Vespa gave a polite thanks, but he was already picking something off another plate and stuffing it into his mouth.
Wait a minute! I was saving that for later!
I assumed you were being picky. Oh god. Isn't it canon from Distortion Detective that Vespa is a foodie?
Well, now you know! And I still see you gobbling up my share! He took my snack too, Verg! Kick his ass!
Rodion? Oh, he did the full name! Oh my god, he's the full name! Oh god. He's such a dad. Rodion Romanovich. I'm aware that half of the total snack budget allocated to each sinner is being funneled into your snacking expenses. And now you're raiding the LCE supplies as well? He's such a dad.
Chill! That's how it's been agreed on, okay? Besides, that's that, and this is this!
God, you're gonna trigger him, Roja! I don't know how I don't know what Roland would think about... God, the inherent comedy in Roja using Roland's catchphrase to refer to snacks. And he even did the disappointed sigh. Can I play that again? Please tell me there was audio there. Oh, I can't. God damn it. The lines on Virgilius' brow looked deeper than usual today. Dante, don't throw shade! Hoping to help him out of this endless cycle of snack-related headaches and to satisfy my own nagging curiosity, I drew near our guide and broke his brooding silence with my TikToks. Did we learn anything about Sinclair's sign?
Dante's inquiring about the outcome of the research on the sign.
I've heard from the researchers. Nothing particular significance came out of it.
Observation of the sign has so far been limited to 2 individuals, the manager and...
So that is true. So that isn't just theory, that's confirmed then. It's been theorized for a while that Dante has the sign as well. But yeah, no, confirmed. Confirmed. Sonia also mentioned seeing it on us. We don't know what the fuck the sign is, but it has to do... The sign... otherwise known as this, or as it's shown on Sinclair, the Mark of Cain, is a little signature that shows up usually on their head, generally on their head, that is unique to every single bearer of the sign. It has abilities that are also completely unique to each member of the sign, from what we think. Because Damien just fucking floats everywhere and did like 7 Mong in a single swipe of his hand. Dante has a revival, which might be linked to it, and Sinclair just dragged a future version of himself back. Yeah, Sinclair henshined into a future version of himself to kick the ass of the Ring Maestro and Apprentice.
Observation of the sign has been so far limited to 2 individuals, the manager and Sinclair. Due to the limited accessibility of its phenomenon, the only verifiable information so far has been in existence. Researching that which cannot be observed is bound to be difficult.
Faust has a point. Aside from Sinclair, none of the sinners can actually see the sign. Oh, it's just Sinclair and Dante? And the same would go for the researchers. Even Sonia said only a select few people can perceive it. Yep. Hey Zan, Sinclair's sign almost looks exactly the same as the archetypal mark of Cain. And in Sinclair's original story, the story he originates from, that is what they're based. That is what part of what Abraxas and based on. That Cain didn't like do something archetypal like that. He was the first. That Cain was the first great man, basically. That's put forth in Damien. Not as important as the fact that Sinclair wants to fuck MILFs, but still important to the plot.
If there are more individuals bearing signs, it'd be rather for comparable analysis of pixel samples than narrow down the scope. However, records indicate no suitable references exist. At present, the research effort is limited to reducing variables, such as whether or not the irregular phenomenon are tied to the location where the battle took place.
Yeah, Sinclair. It is canon. It is literary canon and important to the story that Sinclair fucks MILFs.
By individuals bearing signs, you mean people like Damien and Sansan?
Yeah, Damien, Sansan, also Rim. The members of the Blue Man Group. Well, Blue Man Group Mark II.
Wait! Like how they do what Sinclair did? Pull in some super-powered future self and just wreck everything? Even Sonya?
I should step in and put an end to the subject before Roja gets the blues. Yeah, another important fact about Sinclair's source material. He really wants to fuck Damien. Sinclair really wants to fuck Damien. He is both gay and a MILF hunter. Sinclair, the bi legend we all need. I should step in and put an end to the subject before Roja gets the blues. I don't think so, from what Ishmael and Faust reported back then.
Ah, right.
Sinclair from the future said each sign... Yeah, there. That's what we know about the signs. Sinclair from the future said that each sign carries a different power.
I think. Maybe, those layers of light rings Damien used to finish off Cromer, or Sanson dragging us into his story. Those could be it.
Oh! I never considered that Sanson's story power was his sign ability.
That does seem plausible.
So, none of that is information we can confirm yet.
Correct. As you have stated, any discussion of this subject would not venture beyond the realm of rad speculation. Nothing has been proven yet. Ergo, fear would be not necessary response at present.
Ooh, ye saying the actual genius here? What you got to think?
This is, at best, grounded in supposition, but it would seem that the researchers are coaxing forth a hypothesis from the vestiges left in the wake of Sinclair's future self.
That. But about the sign, maybe been some singularity or whatever? The precise position of the hypothesis was that the fundamental principles of the sign's workings may be equivalent to those of singularities or relics. Oh god. Zan, I don't think you were here for this earlier, but I don't think anyone is here for this earlier except for me and Ori, but Catherine's erasal from reality via the golden bow is much more fucked up than any of us realized. It's self-correcting. every single member of the Sinners, other than them, has an entirely different set of memories. And every single hint of her existence has been overwritten with something else. Catherine's eraser from reality is self-correcting. And apparently, Heathcliff and Dante have been every once in a while just like checking in on each other. Just like, is it still there? The memory's still there? And even if they try to tell the other Sinners, they can't believe it. Well, they try, but Mersault, as an example, looked up all 5 years of newspaper articles from Wuthering Heights. Catherine was never mentioned. There's no proof other than Heathcliff's words. But as no actionable evidence was obtained from Sinclair, there is presently no means by which this hypothesis may be validated. I see. Nothing came out of them dragging Sinclair off without research.
Oh, you also thought it was being dragged off. You still let it happen anyway? No, I mean...
I'm kidding. I just thought I'd try going along with the mood. The old Sinclair wouldn't have even thought to joke around like that. He's really changed lately. For the better, I think. So, did anything happen that we should worry about?
I stuck close to him just in case. Nothing serious came up. Just took some blood, small skin sample. Oh, and they were also checking if the sign reacts to electrical simulation. I had to fill out some questionnaires too. Things like, please describe what you remember from the battle exactly as it happened, or list the sensations you felt when you regained consciousness. And your memories of that moment have yet to return. No, I don't know if they'll ever come back, actually. Faust said that they only exist with my future self, so... Well, wait, for my future self to have those memories, shouldn't I carry them in the first place? Which comes first?
Oh, don't worry, it's gonna get confusing. Yep, paradox.
A paradox, it would seem. In such a case. That Sinclair is merely one branch among many possible futures. If the future unfurls into boundless branches by means of ceaseless perforation, then the body of information that constitutes a certain future would scatter into grains more fleeting than dust, to diminish to ever reverse their course and trace their path back to the self that now exists. Is that the theory suggested?
This is your regular reminder that Yi Sang is a fucking genius?
Not a certainty, but a plausible interpretation.
Oh, here you go again. All that nonsense only you lot understand. Oi, remember or not, a future guy still came out of him, didn't it? Then, some buttons gotta be left in there somewhere, yeah? Like muscle memory or whatever. Or perhaps you can still pull off some of those tricks from back then.
Tricks from back then?
How'd you kick off proper there? You haven't brought out that trick you picked up from that and plastered old geezer, right? Yes. True decapitation death blow. The signature move that Sinclair and Zichu now share.
Not just that, he was using that Mong technique quite effortlessly too.
What? A glowing ring thing?
Yep, the glowing ring thing. He had two of them coiled around his weapon. I used the glowing ring thing?
Oh my... I love the fact that they're not gonna call it Mong, they're just going, the glowing ring thing! That is its official terminology from now on. Everyone who agrees, say aye. It is now the glowing ring thing, it is not Mong.
Huh. This is the first time I'm hearing anything about it. Alright, so what exactly is that glowing ring thing? Anyone? Maybe some technique that enhances physical capability? I mean, I guess that flashy aura makes it real tough's one part of it, but there's gotta be more, right?
Yep, Shin and Mong. To know. Could be a secret finger thing to pass down to the members. Technique, gear, something like that. Look at it, that black Konoi leader, that Leheng prick. And then those fellas we thought, oh, a lot of them finger, ain't they?
The notion seems to unravel, for even among the LCD, there were those who came to wield it. And Virgilius, too. So what? Only proper hard bastards can use it? Some posh top-end trick, is it? Without anyone in particular prompting it, the sinners slowly turned their gaze towards Virgilius and Vespa. I only learned to wield it from my team leader, too. I have a sensory understanding of Shin, but I can claim nothing too profound. However, what I can spare are some rumors, though they are all without proper sources. Are we gonna get actual Shin and Mong lore? Oh, you're so right, I heard that. He did just steal more food. Rumors? They circulated among elite fixers and association leadership. That there exists a power called Shin, capable of enhancing the body without having to pay expensive upkeep costs. A room amongst fixers, sayest thou? Yes, even the technique to manifest it, how-to tips really, spread through hearsay. Oh yeah, that tracks. That super rookie column in the latest Magbone vid. Bro was really popping off with it. Straight up horrifying with a shiny mung wrapped around the weapon. Holy shit, Kira, you're amazing. Keep doing this. Like, it causes people in chat physical pain. Keep doing this. It was that mine eyes out yet to prepare for such scenes to marvel in a video. Wait, you serious? It's in the latest issue! Literally on the videotape in the back. Maybe you missed it? Videotape? Alas, for many a week I have been stranded from Mephi. We've never me a chance to read not only the prior chronicle, but the latest one as well. Woe is me! My return, I shall feast throughout the night upon those noble exploits of the adventuring fixers. As Don Quixote dramatically spiraled into a state of utter dejection, Otis cut into the conversation, her gaze narrowing with suspicion. From what I recall, the mantle of Shin grants its users a high degree of physical enhancement. There is no such thing as reinforcements without supplies. No power of that magnitude comes without an equivalent cost to wield it. That power, you know how it works, Virgilius. It's in your monologue. Relies on emotion and will for manifestation. Its output is not consistent like prosthesis and augmentation. And depending on how it is used, the consequence it demands can reach levels comparable to the ego you use. No, that tracks, because from what little we've seen of the mechanics, all the mechanics of how Shin and Mong are shown, the SP, it's usually, number one, there's usually an SP cost to using Shin and Mong, or activating it. And the SP cost changes depending on who's using it. Like, for, I think, Sora, I'm pretty sure it costs like 45 SP, sent her back down to 0. You mean to say that it extracts a toll upon the mind? I can walk you through the fundamentals if you'd like. From what I observed, it appears to be a technique reserved for those of considerable strength at our current level. It is not unreasonable to assume we could make use of it. Regarding that, our team leader has been conducting investigative research. And according to her, physical strength itself has little bearing on one's ability to learn and wield Shin. As the Yellow Harpoon says, it is, in essence, a power that can be learned by almost anyone, provided they know the proper method of training. Just like ego. Angela, it looks like you've also changed the city, even if just a little bit. Shin and Mog. Ah, yes. Activate my Shin, take out my revolver, mag dump. No, that's just full stop Hong Lu. Full stop Hong Lu would absolutely do that. Vespa's brows visibly twitched the moment Yellow Harpoon left Virgilius's lips. Shin and Mong only showed up after... Yeah, Shin and Mong only showed up afterwards, after Angela's Pillar of Light. Because our first mention of it was in Leviathan and Distortion Detective, both of which taking place after her Pillar of Light. Yeah, Ian's gift to the city with his Tree of Light was the possibility for change, ego, and distortion. Also just the light in general.
The light in general, the possibility for ego and distortion, and a hope for a better future. Angela has bestowed upon them Shin and Mong, a technique for all, even the downtrodden. Different methods for the same ideal. Yeah, doesn't seem like he's a big fan of his own title. The Yellow Harpoon. Well, it fits, I think. He's got those yellow stripes on his clothes, and he uses harpoon too. Can you even argue with it? Oh my god, they know about the memes. Oh my god, they know about the memes. Oh my god, they know about the memes. For those who are not in depth on the Limbus Company and Project Moon fandom, there is a consistent meme of how the fuck is Yi Sang dragging them down this far? Because the more you look at how strong some of the sinners were previously, the more you're confused at how far they were dragged down to level 1. Like, let's just go off the list. Second Kindred Blood Fiend, Smoke War Veteran, the Roach Emperor, Araya Shiki, and just honestly just those. Yes, the entire reason the team was level 1. No, not even that. If pre-contract Yi Sang signed the if pre-contract Yi Sang stubbed his foot, I'm pretty sure he would just die on the spot. And there's been some really good art made of it. That's just incredible. If I were to exaggerate, even since Yi Sang's pre-contract self, I see that little smirk, you asshole. You're such a dad. I see that little smirk. Why must the self of mine be chosen as the point of comparison? Well, I mean, cause you're the wimpiest one here. Yeah, Roja is actually really damn strong, and Heathcliff is a necromancer. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, for those not caught up in the fandom, there was a recent Q&A, and, you know Wild on Heathcliff's whole, like, procession of the undead following behind him? That's just a thing Heathcliffs can do. That's not unique to the Wild Hunt. That's just a thing Heathcliff can do. He doesn't know how to do it yet, but that's just the thing he can do. I don't know how the fuck that's a thing he can do, but it is. Oh, favorite Exile Indie saying for a power buff? All the sinners instantly become level 90. Well, cause you're the wimpiest one here.
Don't let it get to you, dude.
Even so, it would be a mistake to assume it's a power anyone can grasp with ease. As long as you are bound by contract as sinners, your ability to wield it will be severely limited. Oh? Oh? What do you mean by that? Unless you rely on particular identities or come across an extraordinary circumstance. Shimebot would have been useful.
Hey, now what about me? Can I learn it too?
Kira, who had been fidgeting with her fingers, raised an arm and asked as though she couldn't hold the question back any longer. I don't know why the contract screws everything up related to power buffs. Come to think of it, the middle nurse father didn't use any Shin or Mong. Yep. Because, based on Matias's personality, there's no way he could have ever manifested one.
Papa never taught me how to use it. He always said I could get stronger without a stupid crutch like that.
It wasn't that he didn't teach you. He couldn't. Yep, no. According to his personality, he couldn't use them. He was a man who probably had never once reflected upon his own sins. A piece of trash like him would be incapable of even comprehending such a power in the first place. Yep, it requires self-reflection. She's not even arguing. Vespa's response always come back dripping with venomous hatred whenever the conversation turns to the topic of the fingers. Yeah, this is just a canonical thing. He hates the fingers. Like, absolutely. Kira must have noticed too, or perhaps she simply couldn't find the right words to push back. Either way, she held her tongue, her expression settling into a blend of frustration and something that looked a little too close to sadness. Aww. Pat the Kira. Pat the Kira. If you want to reduce it to a yes or no, then yes, you will be able to learn it with odds in your favor. That is, assuming the company decides to tolerate your continued existence.
I already said I get it.
As it stands, you're nothing more than a pending case of disposal. Those who are a threat, then you are an ally. Those who are a threat, then you are an ally, strictly speaking. Don't get comfortable because the manager and the sinners treat you with lenience. Step out of line, and you will be the one who pays the price. There was nothing in what Virgilia said that I could argue with. Kira had been a member of the House of Spiders. She murdered scores of LCE researchers. And left us with plenty of memories we'd rather not revisit. For now, we're just working together. Not contesting that decision doesn't mean we have to have no hard feelings towards her. Even Kira alone with her thoughts, the sinners stepped back into their own business. Snacks, idle chatter, and conversations about whatever that had happened around LCE. The examination is concluded. I suppose it won't be an issue to let you hear the results together. Ooh, before we knew it, Honheim and Ryoshi returned. Tell us what's going on with Aria. Give us the lore. Yep, there it is. The name of Aria's ego in the fight in Kanto 9. Where it says it's her ego. Renke Setsun. To present a conclusion first, no, the notion of the sword being a sentient one is incorrect. The locus of the will is not the blade, but the scabbard. An ego forged in rather paradoxical nature. Yes, that would be the most appropriate description.
Not a sentient sword, huh?
Aw, don't be disappointed that your daughter, she did her best. Ryoshi's grumpy dismissal made the scabbard quiver almost as if it had taken offense. Somehow, I felt like I could understand what Hohenheim meant by will now. It was a reunion of sorts, one that gave both a tinge of sadness and hope. If the scabbard has his own will, does that mean the owner of that will can be resurrected? It is too premature to deliberate in the matter. The state of existence under question is not one that may be defined as death at the moment. I assume they asked whether it can be revived or brought back to life, so to speak. Even supposing that survival is a fixed variable, and that the reconstitution of the original corporeal body falls within the realm of theoretical possibility, the probability approaches zero given the limits of today's technology and conditions. We researchers are inclined to entertain even infinitesimal chances, but in the terminology of the lay people like yourself, such a prospect would be labeled impossible, wouldn't it? There is no need to fixate on the impossibilities of the present manager, Dante. Such matters are reserved for us scientists to hold on to. Right. But we may have uncovered a thread, something that could lead to restoring Ryoshi's memories. Though, again, that too is merely a possibility. It's more than we had before! Laid on us! A far more practical avenue for you to pursue at the moment, nevertheless. And to that end, yes, further analysis on the scabbard itself would be necessary. Coordinate with Alan for your next duty. He should still be in the ring nurse father's quarters. That will be all. Hohenheim cut himself off there, clamping his mouth shut, as if any further exchange might scatter and mess up the theories he's constructed in our conversation. Alright then, before we go though, anyone want to tag along? Munching on food, averting their gaze, the sinners were pretending they weren't interested at all. but going by the way their forks had long since stopped moving, it was pretty clear to me that they'd all been intently listening in on a conversation. Oh, you goobers.
Where are we to go?
Ah, right. Sorry, forgot the rest of you weren't there with us earlier. Faust, Don Quixote, Ryoshu, and I have been checking where each back door leads.
Oh, and Kira too. Sorry about that.
The prisoner of war executive manager.
Are you talking about me? Yeah, I guess. I'm working with him too, yeah.
Best remember to tread carefully. Should you even cause the slightest harm to the executive manager, you will be held accountable without exception.
I mean, yeah, sure, whatevs.
Kira needled at Otis with a mocking pout, but oddly enough, she didn't appear particularly irritated. Anyway, I think it'd be better if we had a few more people, just to be safe. One of the doors we went into earlier led straight to the rings corridor. That was a close call. Otis and Heathcliff's hands shot up the moment I finished speaking. I'd very much like to come to you, executive manager. I knew I could rely on you, Otis.
Your recognition of my loyalty honors me, executive manager. I, Otis, understand better than anyone your concern about the peril of working with a prisoner of war so liable to betray. To have your indispensable self proceed with only a handful of soldiers at your command. God, I cannot see you seeing it straight. Man, this cannot stand. I'm afraid I won't have to focus on other duty. Won't be able to focus on other duties, but a person needs seen to your safety.
I get it, Otis. You've made your point clear enough. Not caring on how I just keel over the moment you summon me. Feels a bit dodgy, that. But I stick by your side and scrap it out myself.
You probably don't need me to come along then. I guess you can just summon the rest of us like you did earlier if shit hits the fan. A research yet unfinished holds my efforts. I shall join you once it has found closure. I don't think I can be much help wherever you're going. I'll pass.
I will follow it if that is your order, manager.
No, it's fine. Just get some rest.
It'll probably be okay. I can always summon them again if things get too dangerous. For now, I should go see Alan again. Yeah, Malkuth is handy like that. Oh wow, we're not even close, are we? I don't think we're gonna finish this stream, honestly. Saru! Oh no. Let's go.
여기는 순록 선멸 지역 진입했어요.
Yeah. The dog that got stabbed with Xenon's tortoise spiral. And was traumatized enough that it could never approach Ryoshu the same way again. The puppy.
Ah, you've arrived. I was waiting for you. We sifted through and isolated the doors with the highest probability of leading into the rings gallery. The next step would be the enter the alternate door you mentioned, but... Hold up a sec. I was actually gatekeeping more stuff. Huh? Gatekeeping? Are you saying you have more to tell about the doors? Yep. That door over there? Pretty sure it connects to N-Corp's nest. I saw Baina going in all hyped about some canned whatever it was.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. That's canned experience.
And that wooden door with bandages wrapped around the handle? Papa'd go in there to cross out vengeances. From what the book said, it's probably a turf protected by a thumb subsidiary or something.
Unlike earlier, when she offered only vague snippets, even about just a single door, Kira was now feeding Alan a stream of intel that seemed solid even to someone as clueless about the back door as me.
She's far more cooperative than anticipated. Even if that Alan character roughed her up, from what I hear.
Yeah, you'd think she'd clam up out of spite. I wonder if she changed her mind about cooperating with us.
Nevertheless, you must let her guard them, executive manager. There's no telling when she'll turn on us. Freaking! I can literally hear everything you're saying, you know?
Alright then, based on the intel, please proceed by investigating the safest doors first. As for the high-risk ones, I'll continue checking in and let you know which ones you need to enter. Alan tinkered with the devices around him and flashed a couple of doors with a blue light. Guess that meant we start with those. Also, yeah, that's absolutely Chekhov's gun. Where do you guys want to go first? All look about the same. Just start with the closest one. Well, Alan did say these are the safest ones, so it shouldn't matter which one. Just as I reached for the nearest door as Heathcliff told me to, Ryoshu suddenly veered off, stopping in front of another one that stood a few steps apart. This door, it feels familiar. Huh? You recognize that door? I think I passed through it a few times when I was little. Oh. Hardly had Ryoshu stopped speaking when a fragmented memory, painted over in parts, slipped into my mind.
Sorry, it hurt a lot, didn't it? I should have finished my homework faster. Oh, I know! Let's go for a walk!
I don't recall much about it. That memory just now. Could it be tied to Aria? Let's start with that door. Okay, this one, yeah? There we go. Impatient as ever, Heathcliff shoved the door open and strode in first. The rest of us followed, including Kira and the other sinners. Huh. And this place is a park somewhere. Judging by its name, it appears to be a welfare facility located within a nest. Most likely a park. Every sword walking's here dragging some animal along. Means they've got money to burn. Up a rich lot, this place. The walk past Ryoshu mentioned in her memory, and the sight of people fussing over their pets. The pieces clicked together, and I voiced the other memory I saw back at the House of Spiders. Did you ever come here? With a puppy named Saru? Ryoshu's childhood dog. That was stabbed with Zenon's tortoise spiral in order to encourage her to do her assassination faster. And never recovered. Yeah, I remember that. Not a puppy, though. Saru was a bit bigger by then.
Sorry. It hurt a lot, didn't it? I should have finished my homework faster.
Oh, you can see the wound still there. Look at that. That's where Saru was stabbed. Oh, puppy.
Huh? Oh, why isn't she getting any better? I gave her lots to eat. Oh, I know. Wanna go for walkies? You love walkies, don't you, Saru? There's this workshop that always visits. The doors there is connected to a park. We can go right now.
Ryoshu's childhood memory burned bright in my vision before passing. Yeah. Valencia. In order to encourage Ryoshu to do her assassinations better and learn faster, stabbed Saru with the Zenon's tortoise spiral. For those who don't know what that is, Zenon's tortoise spiral is quite simple. Once it is stabbed in, it cannot be removed. And the more you move, the more you walk, the more you try to pull it out, the deeper it goes in, the more it entwines with your flesh and bone. So if you attempt to rip it out, everything that it entwined with comes with. Also as a kid?
Barely. To judge this still seem almost unlike the young Ryoshu.
Well, she's not happy we got to see that.
Hey, clock. You said you could show them my memories willy-nilly. No, come on. You know it's not something I can control.
GG. Back in the House of Spiders, I was the only one who could see the vision of Ryoshu's past. This time, though, her memories seemed to manifest for everyone around, just like we experienced in that H-Corp with Feng Lu. Which probably means...
Huh? Why are y'all staring at me? That's so random. What the hell?
Did you not Did you not see that just now?
See what? You guys zoning out together?
Guess it doesn't apply to Kira. Then again, unlike how it was between Lin Dayu and Hong Lu, Kira doesn't have any direct connection to Ryoshu. I guess it makes sense, I guess.
Was that adorable companion? No.
Was that adorable companion was that adorable hound thy companion of old, young Ryoshu?
Indeed, my one and only best friend. And because of that sorrow, would be locked away in the vault every time I had to depart on assignment, with a spiral driven through her.
Oh. It wasn't just once, it was every time? Okay, yeah, no regret about what happened to Valencia. She deserved it.
The first ever leash. Looking back, might have been a kinder fate had she died sooner.
To inflict such cruelty upon a voiceless animal! How can such wickedness be born? What happened to Saru in the end?
She died before her time. I don't recall why, but there was this day when Saru wouldn't stop whimpering in pain. And I shut myself in my room, crying.
You were? Not someone else?
Who else? Of course it was me.
Even after witnessing the fragment of memory, Heathcliff looked utterly unconvinced.
And while I was grieving, Callisto offered a solution. Said he would give me a gift the next day. And what I received was something he called the Beast Bone Blade. A tonto that would whine and yelp in Saru's voice with every swing.
The Corpism style of the ring, turning people into artwork. If you can do that, why can't you do that to turn a dog into a blade? That's what happened to Saru.
Ew, no way! I always knew there was something creepy with Robo-Unk. So that's how he killed your dog, huh? No, he didn't kill Saru. The Tanto was a—
Oh, it's worse. Oh, it's worse. Oh, it's worse. Oh, it's so much worse.
He didn't kill Saru. That Tanto was alive.
Did you just say alive? Bloody hell. Alright, none of that psycho!
Her eyes were embedded in it like ornaments, and they'd stare at me in accusation. The tiny heart beat as though quaking with fear. It was a horrible sight, and I felt pity. So I shortened the remains of her time with my own hands.
So she put Saru out of her misery and let her die. Got me thinking after hearing all that. Why do you still mess with that art thing then? Let's be honest, after seeing something like that, you want to steer well clear, yeah?
Right? Those things he called artworks were all so cursed! Straight up nightmare fuel.
God, it's so weird to hear these terms from someone in Project Moon.
Like, I haven't really checked out other ring artworks outside of Albina and her nurse fathers. So, maybe I'm just a noob when it comes to all that, but, yeah, their stuff never gave me any art vibes, for real. I thought the same. Well, I was terrified at first, but as I learned more, there are some facets that suited my taste. They'll find his appeal in those grotesque quotations. From what you've told me about Callisto, it looks as though he failed to stick to his own advice. But there's something he always used to say. Art is wholly subjective, and thus one must never expect to understand the understanding of others. Well, art is wholly subjective, and thus one must never expect the understanding of others. The uncanny, the horrible, there's a beauty that lies in the grotesqueness of it all. Can't say I quite get it, but if you say so. But bloody hell, how are you gonna get getting used to that kind of thing? Why do you need to understand? You're not an artist. I got used to it, but that bastard Callisto installation artworks caused night terrors and nightmares for Arya.
She doesn't remember her name. but she's still so important that she remembers that happened. Her blade rattles. The scabbard moved, and Ryoshu came to a pause. It trembled, but there was at once a strange liveliness to it, as though it quivered between fear and anticipation. The night terrors, crying from nightmares, in the house of spiders?
There was actually someone who got scared of ring stuff back in your day?
I need to check something. You've seen enough here. Let's go back. Yeah, let's. Nothing else worth checking out around here anyway. With the inspection complete, we quickly followed Ryoshu back. She stood in front of the artworks covered in sheets of cloth, lost in thought. Right here. There used to be a huge artwork displayed here. I don't know what kind of impulse struck him, but the bastard went about fussing, saying he needed practice so he wouldn't lose his touch. Oh. Arya's shape is still there, but all detail is lost.
Mommy!
What's wrong?
Over there!
The House of Spiders. Arya. Thought I told you to keep the exhibition in your room. Ah, you've returned, Yoshihide. I decided to attempt an installation of art of a somewhat larger scale this time. Ran out of space in my gallery.
Mommy, people were screaming.
Dearest Yoshihide, Arya has reached an age where she may be introduced into the world of aesthetics. Surely this wouldn't be a problem. It would. You liking it and me acquiring a taste doesn't mean Arya will. Let's get you back to our room. I was hugging something in my arms. It was crying. But she still can't remember her daughter. Sorrow? No, too big for sorrow. The lacerated memories can never be made whole, no matter how many fragments are glued together. We could tell Ryoshu everything we knew about Arya, but it'd never truly reach her. I see. This hollow void. This must be Arya. The sensation and emotion for what's been emptied began to entangle with Ryoshu's memories. And that makes it possible for us to reminisce about Arya together. The soft rattle Arya gave seemed to show how pleased she was with this small step. Alright, time to check out the next door. We entered several more back doors that Alan pointed out. But unfortunately, none of the places we entered at stirred Ryoshu's memories any further.
Pretty much nothing here. I think we're done. Huh? What the? How'd they get in here? Bobbus?
Oh no. Startled, Kira pointed ahead, where figures wearing animal masks were hauling what looked like massive lumps of flesh hidden behind a tent of sorts. Those ring assailants from before?
This does not say that I was still at the door earlier. And how does those villains come stand before us once more?
They probably infiltrated by an entirely separate route, another the back door. As you can see, the objective appears to be the retrieval of the ring nurse father's artworks. Makes sense. Yeah, they're stealing the exhibits. Done with it! We need to move as many pieces as we can before we pull out.
Wait, but I thought Robunk is washed. You got so many fanboys and fangirls here.
Does this artwork possess value in and of itself? Or is it just the case of posthumous premium of death effect? Think about it. Some of the pieces have already been taken. Of course, they are of little value to both our companies. Watching them sweating and struggling to drag those mediocre pieces with them. Pretty funny. But imagining how those pieces will be labeled with some pathetic notion of heritage connected to my name on their description plaques. Pretty unsavory. They may be occupied with transporting these objects for now, but they will likely soon find cause to harm the Wayfarer and LC personnel stationed here, Executive Manager.
It would be prudent to eliminate them without delay, considering the ring's reputation. Otis is right. Better wipe them out before they try to do anything stupid. Guys? Looks like we got another job to do. Lend me a hand. The radio didn't buzz with the sinners' replies this time, but it should be fine. Yeah. I do like that Dante's just radioing the sinners. Just like, hey, warning, I'm about to make you unconscious so I can use your bodies to fight. Hello, Malcolm. Could say that was trash? Actually, we don't know. According to what we've seen, Callisto, I think it was more of, Corpusm was regarded as a dead end. Because Callisto only managed a single masterpiece and spent the rest of his life trying to make something equal to it. The rest of the ring did think, according to Honglu's Nurse Father Honglu Uptai story, that it was a wondrous piece of art, but nothing he made afterwards could ever go up to it, and nothing anyone else of the style made afterwards. It was thought of as a dead end, just like the real Corpism. Because in case y'all didn't know, Corpism was a real art movement. I don't know if y'all knew that, but that's your interesting fact for the day. All of the art movements in Limbus Company are real. Corpism was the study of the human body. Tattoos, piercings, stretching skin, all of that. You can look it up online and you'll see some examples of their artwork. Rojo continues with my strongest soul. God, this identity is so absurdly strong. Fair. Dominating unprompted. Oh, I'm going, sure. Oh, do you have enough for that? Less than 8. You have 8, so we're fine. Yeah, make sure. Yep, spend 8. You have 10 charge, so you're fine. Go. I cannot win rate for a simple reason. The reindeers are here, and they would go, yum, friendly fire. Because if you ever played Limbus, there is one thing you know R-Corp Rangers for. Friendly fire and killing teammates. It's their signature ability, after all. Actually, I didn't actually check if these were the same enemies as before. Well, had the same titles. It looks like they are? Yeah, Impulsive. It's the same ones. It's the same titles. Oh, right, and Kira's still on the team. It's great to see her still. And she's got her augmentations on right now. We can just win rate this, actually. Wait, actually, check Honglu. Honglu's fine. She's fine. Good. We can win rate that. God. I love how this team is like almost entire like really serious people, like really fucked up people like the Reindeers and Butler Otis, and then there's just Magical Girl Dawn. She does not fit into the team, but she's here anyway, and we're so happy she is. Like Reindeer Honglu has the dubious honor of being a Honglu who fucking hates his life.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Strike rate. Probably, yeah, attack power up. That's it. Yeah. Did y'all know that there's an entire fic about L Corp Dawn and Magical Girl Yuri? There's probably multiple, but there's just one I know of. It's a pretty decent story. It is otherwise known as craft treated seriously, because you want to know how it begins? You know the ending of L Corp, Angela's Rebellion? What if the magical girls just double Arcana slaved her and stopped Angela's Rebellion? And it just goes from there. Carmen isn't in the light. Aeon's the only one there, and he's helping people achieve ego. It's wonderful. With this, the last of the ring's infiltrators have been eradicated. Is that all of them? Ryoshi kept glancing around as if searching for someone, but fortunately, no other ring members were in sight. Give me a second. I have it on bookmarks. Where's bookmarks? No, that's a different fic. Updated? No, wrong one. No, that's Ratsusekan. That's Aria in Reverse 99. Starlight. Starlight by Koshi Kameji on AO3. Right, but where are they coming in from anyway? Oh, just the first word. I'm all the swords I get it from the back, like I've been looking somewhere else. According to tracking logs recorded by the surveillance devices installed here, they appear to have crossed over from another corridor. Another corridor? What precisely does the designation another corridor refer to? The room resembling a shopping mall, the one filled with batches of toys on display. Your company, if I recall correctly, designated as the corridor of the middle nurse father? I suggest we relocate there. Your assigned tasks here have been wrapped up. Oh, and before we set off, do you have any information to share in advance? We are planning to compile a comprehensive encyclopedia cataloging the notable characteristics of these corridors and all of their connection loci. Your cooperation will be most appreciated. Kira seemed to hesitate, gnawing at her nails as she was going through an inner struggle. Before long, however, she snapped out of it like she'd just locked in on a decision. Sure, I got stuff to tell you, like hella stuff. Some parts are kinda fuzzy, not gonna lie, but I can still recall like 20 places clear enough. I mean, it was home for me and Papa, so... I got nothing. I never once regarded that fucker's room as a home, and my memories of it are all fragments at best. The scabbard gave a faint, restless stir. Perhaps it wanted to comfort Ryoshu in the only way it could. And accompanied by its tremors, we began our move towards the corridor of the middle.
예전보다 많이 나아진 것 같다. 나도. 그러고 보니까 그 환상체 이제
Oh my god, Mariachi Sinclair leveled up. I never put any XP tickets. He's almost at level 6 just from being on the team. Ooh, school. Okay. It's the same enemies, so we'll continue with the same
여기는
team.
순록 선멸 지역 진입했어요.
Huh? The heck? He swept everything that wasn't nailed down, huh? But not! I spy the half of thy worldly possessions. Adequate fixed figurines, video game catalogs. I'm not talking about my toy box, okay? I had hella many of them anyway. My TV's gone. The couch, too! They stole the couch, those bastards! As Kira said, only conspicuous empty space was left where the television and the family couch setup used to be. Oh, those? LC researchers hauled them away. From the sound of it, they're going to set them up in their staff lounge? As for the leather and the ornaments, they said they'll be selling them off. Yeah.
Otis seemed to notice something the moment she caught Kira's wistful look. The corners of her lips curled into a faint smile as she spoke with feigned nonchalance. Otis, please stop being yourself. You know, people always say never stop being yourself. Otis, please stop.
Who knows? As a vision corporation, we have to become more receptive to the idea of returning those items.
Actually, no, that's good. Never mind. You didn't do a bad. For once, your idea wasn't bad. Good job, Otis.
Huh? Assuming much? I never said I wanted the Mac. Anyway, I'll tell you all about what I know, so come this way if you want in. These two doors here, made from paper and wood, they connect to S-Corp.
Ooh, we don't know much about flesh, blood, bone industries. Because in case you didn't know, the official title of S-Corp is Salapoto Agro Industries, with their first name, Sadapoto, or however, I don't know how to pronounce it, coming from the Garden of Flesh, the Garden of Bone, and the Garden of Hearts.
And that one's reinforced with steel, that one leads to V-Corp, Max Streetswear.
Yeah, S-Corp is also in the midst of Joseon-era Korea, if I remember correctly, so governmental corruption is the norm. V-Corp. Oh, that's where Dawn Office and Virgilius was from, I think.
That one leads to V-Corp Bass Streetswear.
Having lived here and made frequent roofs of doors herself, Kira's clearly the right person for the job of identifying where each doorway for her company had assets to explore led. Directed by Kira and accompanied by Alan, we checked the doors one by one. Huh, good work. All data seemed to match. Thank you for your cooperation. Until there was just one back door left to open. I don't know there's anything new, but I've got to say, these back doors are just too bloody convenient. And portals, too. They ain't doing anything shady like the warp trains either, is it? It's as simple as turning the knob and entering. Seems to me you outpace your business rival in no time. I'm a bit hard pressed to agree with the too convenient sentiment when it comes to using back doors and portals, but since your intent was to claim Wayfarer's superiority over the current W Corp, I'll take that as a compliment. Did I say something wrong?
Every technology comes with a cost, Heathcliff.
Aptly said. Well, this has been a workday relatively free of casualties thanks to the quality of information you provided. Yeah, it seems I think their primary cost is finding the pathways in the first place and keeping them safe to traverse. That's their issue, what they're going to have to struggle with when they become a corp. You understand that Wayfarer's company's primary services include pathfinding, path security, and path maintenance. Each of those services is fraught with life-threatening dangers for our employees. Some never return after embarking on a pathfinding journey. Some are killed while battling monstrous entities, whose exact natures haven't even been confirmed yet, that appear in the liminal space between paths. Oh, so it is just the back rooms. Y'all really are just IKEA, aren't you? It also costs a pretty penny to keep the secured path, well, secure. I'd say our operating cost is on the rather steep side, especially considering that we are also trying to prevent our rivals from taking this corner of the market. Thinking back, I don't think I've ever seen Alan enter a door to a new location with his helmet off. Must be one of his precautions, just in case. Maybe his dry smile and unsettling lack of reaction to anything are hints that he's simply seen too much to be fazed by most horrors. Still, our work's gotten considerably easier for this job thanks to help from everywhere. Honestly, this partnership has worked much better than I expected. No, I'm pretty sure they're still part of the city. And, like, why would they send claws? No one's stupid enough to stop paying taxes. Very well then, let's take a look at the last door.
Ah, it's the door Papa used to walk through all the time.
I followed Kira in the door, and the second I crossed over the threshold, a breeze carrying an oddly familiar salty... Oh no, it's the lake. Oddly familiar, salty smell tickled the tip of my nose. Oh, one of my clock hands. What's the time to do with... Well, I know they're the primary taboo enforcers for the head. But the head wouldn't care because the fingers are not stupid enough to provoke the head. Yeah, we're on one of the U-Corp port ships. Giant Stingray port ship. Interesting architecture, honestly. Steel girders, like expecting steel cables over there as well. Beach setup, umbrellas, and everything. This one connects to somewhat in the Great General Gate Lake area, it seems. Welcome to U-Corp's Giant Stingray port ship. Stingray, huh? Why does that ring a bell? Is this where Ricardo was going to go for his haircut? Oh, hang on a minute. Is that place in it? The port ship that's Salon de... Oh my god, it is. Salon de Manos. The private hair salon. Oh my god, this is the port ship where Ricardo's hair salon is! Heathcliff chimed in with a shudder, as though the sheer weight behind his words terrified him. Correct response. Woo! Nothing dignified then, that we shall finally make an audience to young Heathcliff and his hairdo most Lucius. Ugh, quit it with that Lucius nonsense, lass. Why encourage me now when you're so cavalier about blasting my villainous arse back at the lake? Indeed. Alas, 'tis true the punishment wrought upon a merry band hath severely outweighed its crime. Thou was not agree, young Heathcliff, that to put the coupons to use would render remedy thy pain a smidge. Ah, bugger it. I ain't even got anyone to spruce up for anymore.
Sweet, then can I use them? We are regulars at the Modiux place, Papa and me. Papa would ask for a middleman for a favor, and he told me to bring loads of coupons back home. It was a hair coupon every 10 visits to see, so what am I even yapping about all excited? Kira, who had seemed ready to launch into a cheerful rant, came to abrupt pause like a bike tripping over a ledge. Her face fell, she lowered her gaze and scoffed a pebble away. Looking back, I guess Papa did hella care for me. So, why? But it's also true that these guys went out of their way to get me out of there even though they didn't know me so well. Yeah, that's why she's helping, isn't it? Ugh! Why's it gotta be so complicated? Matthias gave you that anesthetic BEC. That's a BC! Bull cut. Bro, listen. Like I said, that's not how you shorten these things. She doesn't care. She is enjoying this. For some reason, Ryoshi seemed almost gleeful to hear Kira correcting her acronym. It was reminiscent of that self-satisfied look she'd get after confusing us with these acronyms, especially during that earlier days of our business bus journey. Thinking back, ever since Sinclair's translations became reliable enough, the sinners had less reason to voice their frustrations with Ryoshi's acronyms, which in turn gave her fewer causes to snicker about. I'm not sure why, but something tells me that she might be making her acronyms ridiculously incomprehensible on purpose. Yep, bold to assume that trolling is not the point. If your conjecture is correct, Executive Manager, she has one tasteless sense of humor. From what I recall, the toys and games he was into was pretty retro. Must have been annoying to play along. At first, yeah. The more I played along, the more I got into it. Still corny and juvenile as shit, though. I know aught of that conflict within the... trifling and apocryphal they may be, that we are all compelled to peer hinwards at the interests of the family. Aww, she's reminiscing about her father, isn't she? Yeah, I wanted to know what Papa was into, to really get what he was talking about. Besides, I needed to know these things if I wanted to chat him up and talk about mutual subjects, so... He'd tell me about you all the time, Yoshihide. Proud shit. Not a day went by without him saying stuff like, Yoshihide learned this in 2 days, or, yo, this is Yoshihide's fave, you know? Too bad I wasn't here to tell you that his words weren't worth shit. I once thought of him the same as you do now. A good man, at least among the nurse fathers. Caring enough to bring me gifts. But one day, I realized that he'd never understand the things I really cared about, even if his life had depended on it. One day, thou sayest, pray tell, was there aught that had changed thy perception of that man? That
don't remember when or why, just that it happened.
Wait, I might know this. Wasn't it something that happened at school? Papa told me that things started getting awkward between you two and him ever since you quit school.
Bullshit. I've never been to school. I never even thought of wanting to go to school. Matthias must have been talking out of his ass again.
Huh? No way, bro. I even saw a clip of it.
What?
Papa showed me that video when he was teaching me how to use these doors. I even saw baby you going, "I'm off to school, Dad," in that video, so I'm pretty dang sure.
But I don't. As Kira went on, Ryoshi's confidence from her initial retort seemed to slip away. I couldn't blame her. So much of her memory had been mutilated. Ryoshi didn't sound like she was denying it out of hand, though. She seemed to mean that when she said she'd never been to school and had never even wanted to. And I want to glimpse the fragment of memory that made her say that. The moment I willed it, a scene from her past suddenly flashed across my eyes. Oh well, Yoshihide, I registered a new situation that is not entirely dissimilar from school. There was an... Ooh. Something... 7 letters... Deru? A subsidiary of the Ring. Academy. You sure it was a school? Not like an art academy or something like it?
Wait, that kind of makes more sense. Yeah, must have been an academy, not a school.
Academy of Art. Ryoshi muttered a few words as though they were pieces of a puzzle she was assembling. Then, after a brief moment, she turned towards me with a astounded scoff and a look of mild irritation. Clock, you deserve a smack.
Eh? Ah!
Then lightly smacked me upside the head with her scabbard.
What was that for?
This memory sucks, Clock. I would have been just fine without it. But at least I got to remember the incident that changed my perspective on Matthias. Ooh?
Dad, how do I go to a school?
School, Yoshihide? Well, I don't see why you would wish, let alone need to go to an institution when we nurse fathers are here to provide you with all the education you require. You would later find our unique style of homeschooling. You've been much more enlightening and turned into any of the nests for formulaic educational systems.
But Dad, I saw him in a picture book, and I don't have any friends here.
Oh, writing is pointless. But it is true that there are qualities that can be learned only through group erudition that engenders competition. Very well, Yoshihide. I will register you in an institution that is not entirely dissimilar from school.
Really?
The Academy of Art. I intend to send Yoshihide to an academy as part of my educational curriculum.
Hi!
Hello, Ren. Glad to have you here.
It's going great!
We're being even more heartbroken that nurse fathers are even more fucked up than we thought. Also, Heathcliff. God, Heathcliff is suffering. Pat the Heathcliff, he deserves it. They keep suffering. There was an Academy of Art, a subsidiary of the Ring. Companionship with other talented children of approximately her age will nourish the spirit of inspiration that will guide Yoshihide's growth. Oh, he's listening. I heard that. Hermes just said hello. The prescript approves. But Callisto, I'll tell you now that you might be making a mistake. And how are you certain about that? Do elaborate if you can, hand the puppet of the prescripts by whom every aspect of existence is articulated. What do you even know of choice? Of what is right and wrong?
I mean, fair, but I'm not on your side, my guy. You're an asshole, too.
And off they went. Perhaps a little more situational awareness would have prevented what is to come. Callisto had found me a rather decent academy. The artworks that used to scare me when I was alone weren't so bad when I was with other kids. No, that's not quite it. It'd be more accurate to say that I started to understand people's perspective on beauty. Of course I would, when all we ever did was nod along to the lecturers and spout purple prose. Oh, making pincushions out of people's bodies like it was nothing. Ooh, that is It's like a fucking mental institution. Today, our lesson today will focus on corpus techniques. Now take a good look at the diagram here. Then the mannequins before you. Weave the blood vessels in the same pattern as the diagram, and...
I don't know why we're even learning about corpus stuff in this day and age. Right? I don't get what the point of this slog is, trying and shaping blood vessels to make a color that a drop of ink can do better. I read that in a book.
Wait. Color drained. This is in T-Corp. Color drained. This is in T-Corp.
I'm more excited than about Cuba's technique than this crap. Honestly, why is this washed up movement even a part of the curriculum? It's just boring, shallow gore stuff. No, it's gory, but it's boring and shallow only because you guys are bad at it. What? You mad because your daddy's a lame corpist? Oh, is she? Is he? No wonder his stuff just says, ow! I was taught that people who say bad things about my family deserve to get their butt kicked. Then bad-mouthing Callisto wasn't actually what set me off. Then I didn't have any special reverence or attachment to family like Matthias did either. It's just what I was taught to dislike, that's all. Just one of those tantrums kids of that age have. Kids will be kids and all that. I'm home, Dad!
Hey, buddy, you're home early. Man, I was pulling her off today, huh? I got dust all over.
Got into a fight.
A fight?
Yeah, they kept saying dumb things about class stuff, so I smacked him.
What about you? They didn't hit you anyway, did they, buddy?
On my cheek, but it's okay, because I punched them this many more times. Did I do good?
That's my girl. Oh, he's gonna go burn down the school, isn't he?
Dad? Well, where are you going?
Oh, you know, just got some business to take care of. Why don't you sit down and work on a coloring book? Daddy'll be home before you know it.
Okay. Is it bro business?
No, it's family business. I ain't seen what's so bad about taking care of your own. Them snotty sods don't learn respect unless you beat it into them. If only he'd been a simple-minded fool like you. And then the story would have ended right there with a pat on my head. Oh, thank you for the follow, Akadi Blue Fox. Glad to have you here.
But what? Papa, I mean, the middle doesn't stop there. It never does. You hurt a member of the middle of the family. That automatically gets you written up in the book.
Fly my fucking... You forgot Iron Lotus! You forgot Iron Lotus! Fly my wings, hero, between two worlds. Gotta get between two worlds in there. Iron Lotus, between two worlds. Fetch the Violet, good job. Pass on. God Angels, String Theocracy, Children of the City, Compass. Yeah, nope. You got a couple more. You need to put a couple more in there, but you're good. Nice job. Those are almost all of those are Millie songs in either Limbus or previous games. Pass On technically isn't a Millie song, I don't think. Is it? I don't know, actually. I don't know who wrote the lyrics to Pass On. Actually, no. Aren't the lyrics customized per canto?
You are a member of the family. Automatically gets you written up in the book.
Yeah, and he did what he did. And he did what he did in the end.
Huh?
Of course. God damn it, Matthias. God damn it. You even unsheathed Leviathan? Oh my god, he even unsheathed Leviathan for this. Hey, Yoshine. Last night already, mother's little girl. Wonder who she takes after.
Dad?
I know. I said I'll be back before you know it, but I got a bit lost trying to find my way through the ring bastard's tricky mazes. You know where they are. Oh yeah, there were so many sniveling brats here. Well, as for the crimes, they stabbed my buddy's face hard enough to leave a mark. That's an arm for ya. As for the instructors, well, anyone agree that they did one sorry job of keeping these tykes under control? In that case, pursuant to Title 2, Section 52 of the book, Execution by Beheading. So they clearly don't got much. So they clearly don't got much use for what sits on the shoulders, eh? How do you like it, buddy? Bob is the best, ain't he? How dare he! Such senseless barbaric violence! Yeah, Tian Tian, Sakai, and Skin Deep Comedy. Uncultured, uncivilized animal! Nice. Do not be discouraged, my dear Yoshinide. I have yet another academy worthy of your talents. It is much more significant and prestigious institution this time. I assure you, even an intemperate berserker like Matthias won't dare force his way into such a place as he did the previous academy.
Don't wanna.
Yoshihide?
I don't wanna go to an academy. I don't wanna go. I don't need friends anyway.
Oh. Matthias traumatized her out of trying to interact with people her age. For all his posturing, nothing that was ever important to me held any significance to Matthias. He took a lot away from me just to feel good about himself. So I hoped he, more than anyone, would never find out about the things I held dear, because I was afraid he would take them away from me like he did the others. But he'd always catch on faster than he had any right to. Every contract that took me away from the House of Spiders made me tremble in anxiety. Because I was worried. I don't remember what, but I do know that I could never stop thinking about my realm. Her daughter, Arya. So, whatever occupied the room in my absence must have been the most precious thing to me in the world. The scabbard, which had been stirring lightly as Ryoshi recounted her past, soon began to rattle audibly. It's doing that thing again. Ryoshi patted the scabbard with a gentle, reassuring hand. Hey! Infinite Nuts. Is any member of the party anyway associated with the middle? Or at all? Because the thing that got Matthias sent away from the middle, or put in disgrace, was killing an older brother and an older sister for Leviathan in the outskirts. They were relic hunting for Leviathan. So, depending on when your game takes place, he can be there. He won't have all his skills yet. You might be able to kill him. Ryoshi patted the scabbard with a gentle, reassuring hand. The scabbard that was once Arya, a memory without attachment. It appeared to me as though she was pacifying a crying child. Seeing that gesture, Heathcliff briefly cast a sullen yet faintly expectant gaze between Ryoshi's scabbard and my device. Oh, Heathcliff. He's thinking of Kathy and the fact she managed to speak through Dante's device. He must be thinking back to his last conversation with Catherine. But Catherine's existence, unlike Arya's, was erased by the Golden Bow itself. I doubt this device can do anything for Heathcliff at this point. From everything we know, the Ringnose's father seemed to have been the least awful parental figure in their childhood.
Huh, yeah, didn't know that Robo-Unk was such a radical guy. He sent you to an academy like you wanted and even got angry on your behalf?
Oh, hazy memories, almost forgot to mention. A few days after that, Callisto left a snowman by my pillow as a gift. It was made of heads.
Heads?
Yes, decapitated heads from the incident at the academy, threaded together into a sculpture. Thinking back, it was one sorry excuse for an art. He's sorely mistaken if he thought some low-effort bullshit like that would make me feel better. Ugh, kind of sped as the details loss. Well, with that covered, do you guys want to head back? Well, hang on.
What's up? I'm gonna get the Lucius treatment before heading back?
Shut you! That ain't it. Look there. Those blokes walking out of the saloon. Why the fuck are the Phobos in the saloon? Good news, Kos. They're all dead. Yeah, the only one I even remotely have pity for, like all of them are terrible, but the only one I have pity for is Rien. All the others are just terrible people. Rien doesn't know if he has free will or not. All of a sudden, they found us. It would not be odd to find a field branch that brings art movement in different districts of the city, especially that of the Furries scale. However, various evidence, such as their masks and the fact that our group has immediately drawn their attention, just that they are in the same pack as the one making regular incursions into the House of Spiders. This is LCB, seizing the team leader Alan, requesting immediate commencement of lockdown sequence. Copy that. Then why don't we...
Holy shit, guys, stop!
Bloody hell, what?
Don't you know where you are? You're smack dab in the middle protected turf. Cause a scene. Bros and sisters at the middle will be here any second.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. They've already drawn the ring's unwanted attention. We certainly don't want the middles coming after us to the House of Spiders, too.
Sounds like you've got a GI. Talk. Ever played whack-a-mole? Like, why give ourselves a countdown? Just head back through the door now and beat up whoever thinks it's a great idea to walk in through the door. He puts forth a sound strategy, Executive Manager. As long as there's no high-ranking officer among them, it should be to our benefit.
Yeah. Well then, let's do as Kira says. Huh? That was quick. I'm redoing that.
Huh? That was quick.
Alan blinked, shooting us a puzzled look as our entire squad came pouring through the door, long before he finished the lockdown sequence.
Duly emerging complications past the door. We've concluded that this location is the optimal point to intercept and engage the infiltrators from the ring. This location, you say? Wait, that door leads to the zone under a syndicate or wing's protection, doesn't it? Better idea to fight here, then. Happy to work with someone quick on the uptake.
It wasn't long before the Falvis began rushing into the open door. I didn't want to summon them while they're relaxing, but, well, can't be helped. Hello. And I summoned the sinners back to work. Ooh, that's a new one. That is a new one. Feral, impulsive, spontaneous is a new one. So far, nothing new. No, nothing new. Okay. Let's just take them all out then. There you are. Let's take all y'all out. Yeah. Kim Ji-yoon has been on the record that in making Kanto 9, he drew on some memories of his mother. Let's just say that. I don't want to get indiscriminate. It's worth it. Just take the damage rather than God, I love Solomon. Such a cool eagle gear. Half-seas now, but still gone. I don't know what you mean by I'm half-seas now. I know. It's probably not the Japanese. I sincerely doubt it's the Japanese. Okay, let's just get some... Do you have enough? You have enough. 5 tonight. Don't even bother. Do a defensive skill. The reindeer units, Reindeer-ish, Reindeer Roja, and Reindeer Honglu have the dubious honor of having the indiscriminate qualifier if you use their mind whips at the wrong time. Which means it can kill one of your sinners. They are notorious for killing the sinners of the people who win rates while using them. God, I still love the fact that Wild Hunt Heathcliff is like, for his skill 2, just draws it on a procession of ghosts to just shoot them in the face. Friendly fire is very effective on Furries. Otherwise known as the Creed of Helldivers. I don't know how Helldivers is doing, but I know it still exists, which is more than I can save some other games. Only you can prevent friendly fire by shooting them first! There's more coming. Why are you, all of them are using defensive skills. Well, two flash power from Multicolor Rose is pretty good. Neat. Good for the fops. I think like the only multiplayer game I've ever played with people is... God, it's technically Minecraft, isn't it? It's technically Minecraft when I was like 12. And that's it. God, that's mad. And I'm gonna... Why not? I'm just gonna devour the last of the nerds. I do not count FF14. FF14 is not the same kind of game. Because, like, I've never been on voice call with someone at FF14. Oh, I guess when I used to play Destiny 1 before we lost the Xbox to the house trade. Barcelona was really pretty, though. That place was awesome.
승리의 보람과 세상의 아름다움에 대해 들어본 적 있는가? 없어도
very...
전혀 상관없다네. 지금 우리가 보는 경치가
alright.
바로 그런 것일 테니.
This. Do I want to? Okay, so it stopped at -5. That was where we got the first one. We have almost reached 4 hours already. Time fucking flies by when I'm playing Limbus, huh? Wow. That thread is engorged. That's probably not the right term, but I used it anyways. Whatever. We probably shouldn't. Next. Yeah, no. No, I have to do the event on Sunday, because it'll fade if I don't do the event this Sunday stream. But I don't want to get spoiled. Having to manually split the VOD would be a pain, though. Also remembering to do that. God, that would be a pain. You know what? Fuck it. Why not? This Sunday shall be a BA and Limbus stream. We made about halfway through the new Intervalo, Twisting Threads. And hello, Furry Merceau. You are still here, I see. I wonder how many rolls I have saved up technically now. How much? I think it's 1,300. So 43 divided by 13. Let's check this. 432 divided by 13. That is 33 10 pulls in Lunacy. So 330 pulls. That's 100 tickets. So 330 plus 94 plus 40. Oh yeah, did y'all not know about Furry Roja? If y'all look at this, wait a second. Swap back to here. Let's just show you what Furry Roja looks like because I know that little introduction there can kill some people. Because that is a very pretty smile. Yeah, I have some tickets I want to use. There's been a lot of fan art about this Roja. Yeah, I have a guaranteed extraction ticket, so if you want gacha, I don't mind using this right now. Let's just do a gacha and end out the stream. Oh wow, it's such a shock. We got a guaranteed 3-star. And we got nothing else. Okay then. We got literally nothing else. Faust? 7 Faust! Yep, 7 Faust. Because canonically the Seven Association runs a bar and a coffee and tea service. They run a cafe. The Seven Association has an official cafe where members can work. Alright. Do I want to use this now? Because I do still have this one. I have Dawn. Do I have any of the rest of you? I have Ren. I bought the Ren one. I don't think I have any of the rest of them. No, I'll save this for when I finish up Intervalo. Alright. Thank y'all for coming. We'll be live again, same time on Sunday. So for anyone who popped in just this stream and has never seen before, you can check the schedule in the channel details. It is Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 2 to 6 PST, Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to hang out again, you know when I'm live. Thank you for coming, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. See y'all later.